Welcome to Dark Loops Productions, Dragons in the House, a podcast for discussing HBO's series House of the Dragon. I'm Dr. Scott Jordan, aka Zombie Scotty, cognitive scientist, philosopher at Illinois State University. And tonight, I have the privilege and the honor of being accompanied by the women of Sistah Speak Productions. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me this evening. And well, look at that, damn! I should have joined you in the whole screen, man. Would have just looked brilliant. Yeah, but you would have seen me trying to figure out left and right. I don't want to do that in public.
That's so they can see our lovely faces.
I got you. Absolutely. So what we're going to do here is just talk about the show so far, what we like, what we don't like, and then hopefully when the season's over, we can come back and do this again, right? So
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves, say a little something about who you are, what you do, and then I want each of you to tell me your favorite character. And I know that's a bad question, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Sister K.
Okay, my name is Kelsey, aka Sister K, and one of the co-hosts of Sistah Speak Productions series of podcasts where we talk about TV and movies from a sister's point of view. And my favorite character, I mean, I have a couple, but I think I would say Damon is one of my favorites, even though he's kind of tricky.
I love it.
Because he just, I don't know, there's something about him because I think he's misunderstood. He is also a little evil. He is a little bit out of control, but he's coming from, I think, a place of love and hurt and bitterness with a lot of the shenanigans that he does, but he's also really trying to protect his family. But it doesn't come out that way. They don't see it that way. And I think he's really hurt by a lot of things his brother has done to like push him to the side and disregard him. And that's where a lot of his stuff is coming from.
He is the character you would want by your side in a street fight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
The rest of them would start talking or something.
And I really like that he's kind of silent a lot. He doesn't do a lot of unnecessary talking.
We'll talk about how
action
in this last episode, he was the one playing the Game of Thrones. He was the one, I think, playing the Game of Thrones. How about you, Sister A?
Hey, I'm Sister A, aka Allie, one of the co-hosts of Sistah Speak Productions. I would also say, I hate to copy Sister K, but Damon definitely is one of my faves. Even though I know I shouldn't like the guy, I can't help but root for him. You know, I mean, he definitely comes from a bad background and things like that, but he's done some bad stuff, and I don't like him so much being with Rhaenyra, but you know, I'm still kind of on his side. So
well, they are the new power couple. All right.
Yes.
How about you, Sister LM?
I am Sister LM, aka L Marie, aka Literary Marie. I'm also one of the co-hosts of Sistah Speak Productions. And gosh, my favorite character is Damon. He's been my favorite.
Here we go.
Yes.
He has. He's been my favorite since the premiere. He's that one you call for, like, if you need to ride out on somebody, he'll throw on that hood and ride out with you.
Hey, you in Detroit, so you would.
Yes, and I'm from Detroit. So you need someone like that by your side.
Yeah.
On your team.
You're riding shotgun for real.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God.
He also, I mean, he's also very observant. So when he does open his mouth up to talk, like, it's a reason and you better listen, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's 3-0 in favor of Damon. How about you, Sister J?
Here we go.
Here we go, y'all. I'm Sister J, aka Jennifer. Everybody know that. And the best thing to know about me is I'm retired.
Oh,
I
Here
love
we
it.
go.
I tell them so jealous.
At least once a week.
I'm jealous too, but you
No,
got
I
to hear
love
it
it.
every time.
On repeat.
I'm a retired lawyer.
Yes.
Everybody know that too. Okay, my favorite character. is Sea Snack.
Okay.
Corliss Valerian, Sir Corliss
Mhm.
Valerian. I
That's my
like
second.
him because first of all, he's tall. I like that.
Mhm.
But he is, but I like the fact that he is so, in my opinion, he is so regal. He is so king-like, in my
Yes.
opinion. And my favorite scene is when he was talking to Damon, and just we got a little bitty snippet of the history of House Valerian.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated with that whole
Mhm.
thing, and I wish they do it like a backstory of that. But he's
Yeah.
my favorite.
So
My
I would like a whole
favorite. Every time he come on
spin-off
the screen.
about
totally.
Sea Snack and
Yes,
the
they
Valerians. I
could.
want a whole
Valerian,
spin-off.
absolutely.
And Sea Snack Jr. is good too, but Sea Snack,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sir
Nah.
Corliss is, yeah.
So
Yeah,
was it
I
at
Nah,
don't-
the
not
end
the
of that
junior.
first episode when Corliss was talking to Damon about how House Valerian is older than House Targaryen? And we're like,
Exactly.
oh, it's going off. Here we go.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
like the fact that he was trying to bond with Damon. Well, first
Yes.
of all, when we first see him, he's in that council meeting and he's like leading that thing.
Oh, yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the hands there and everything else, but Corliss is leading.
trying to get
okay,
shit
yeah,
done.
we need to get on with
Yes.
yeah, we need to get on with this, you know. But I like the fact that up until that time, until he was having that conversation with Damon, then a part of the mythology, you were talking about mythology, was they're both second sons.
Yes.
That was good to know because that comes into play later.
No, it's a big deal. It runs the whole season, actually, right?
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
this second
Yep.
sibling,
Second son stuff. Yeah.
second son stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So I got a question for you guys. Does Otto Hightower have game? Y'all don't like him, I know, but
I hate to admit it, but yes, he is playing the Game of
He is
Thrones out the
playing the
wazoo.
game.
Yes, yes.
and no
Every-
one's
You know
playing
what?
it better.
Yeah.
He is so dangerous because he's so effing patient. He's
Yes.
patient.
Well, patient, but he also looks at, like, he thinks way ahead.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
The very night that
The
the
long
queen
game.
died, he
Yeah.
sent Allison into to the
Mhm.
king's
Yep.
chambers. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's always thinking ahead of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're right.
And that
And he
last
is
line, go ahead,
observant,
go ahead.
too.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
man, I
Yes.
mean, that last
Yeah,
line of
he
the
is.
last episode where he goes into Allison's room and she's feeling really bad for losing her
Yes.
cool. And he says to her, no, baby, you got to understand, that's what it takes. Oh, and by the way, hell yes, an eye for a dragon. I mean, the nuclear bomb just evened out, right? I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they're evened out on dragons now. The whole
Mhm.
power structure has changed.
Yeah.
And Otto gets it.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
no one else anywhere in that argument said, oh shit, we lost a dragon. I mean,
Right.
no one said that. And Otto just says, okay,
Exactly.
Mhm.
baby's in for the game. Let's
Mhm.
do it. And so it's not that I
Now that's
admire
the
him.
question.
Go ahead.
Well, that's the question we had, and it goes to the mythology question that you asked before, and that is,
Right.
we don't know whether a dragon, when it loses its rider and takes
Yes.
another rider, that previous rider has to be dead. Because
Mhm.
we wonder what about Sea Smoke? Because Laenor gone,
Mm,
Yes.
but Laenor's not dead.
damn.
Yeah.
That may be
Right.
the clue that he's not dead.
Right.
Right.
Not
right?
dead.
That may come out to play because
Yeah.
he doesn't take
Cecil
another
could
rider.
blow his cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The
and-
blow.
and-
Exactly.
Laenor's cover.
True, but what we wonder is then if somebody
Especially
else,
if he goes to find
because
him and
they
says,
think
"Daddy, where you at?"
Laenor's dead,
Yeah.
but if somebody else tries to
Mhm.
ride Sea Smoke, is he gonna burn him up?
That would be one of the coolest scenes of the season,
Yeah.
right? Because first of all,
Yeah.
it'd be violent as hell, and then
Yeah.
second of all, if people are watching carefully, they say, "Oh,
Mhm.
the thing you just said is correct," and then Sea Snack's looking and saying, "Oh my God, my son's not dead. I'm gonna kill it." Well,
Yeah,
he's probably already gonna kill them all,
Yeah.
you know. But
Right.
yeah.
no, that
As
would be a
long as it's-
really nice way to do that.
As long as
That'd
it's
be
not one
good.
of the girls, because I feel like the one
Mm.
Yes.
Bela who doesn't have a dragon.
Oh,
Mhm.
Bela
Like,
has the dragon. It's the other one, Raina.
Oh, excuse
Raina.
me, Raina.
Raina doesn't have a dragon.
Yeah.
So I don't want her to get burnt
No,
up.
no.
But
No.
it would be an
Yeah.
interesting concept of but they say not every dragon is going to bond. Like it's not going to be successful all the time. So I don't know if it would be
Right.
too out of the
True.
ordinary.
Yeah.
If
See, all that would totally
What
work
happened?
plot wise because
Mhm.
Amond stole Vagar,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? And
Well,
so
he
I
didn't
can
really steal him
Not
though.
steal.
He bonded with him because
Mhm.
because
Fair enough.
Vagar's
He just moved fast.
rider died.
too
Yes.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
So
So
that bond is over.
if I'm Corliss, that dude stole that dragon.
Well, yeah. From
That's
Corliss
supposed
with
to
the girl,
be-
yes.
That's a Driftmark dragon, damn it.
That's
That's
right.
not
That's
yours.
true.
you
That's
know.
That was my
True.
granddaughter's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
That's true.
But since he was able to ride the dragon that someone else had previously ridden, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of Rhaenyra's kids try to ride a dragon that that someone like, try to ride that guy's dragon and
Yeah.
get burnt to a crisp, right? That would be a great plot device.
Mm.
Everybody goes,
All
"What
her
the hell
kids
happened
have
there?"
dragons, though, right?
Yeah, but
All
yeah,
three of the boys?
Rhaenyra's children.
No.
Well, the baby,
Alicent's
baby-
Not the
Kids have
baby,
dragons.
not Joffrey yet.
Yeah,
But her
baby
two
she
boys
just
and her
born.
girl have a dragon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got to get
Rhaenyra
my.
doesn't have any girls.
yeah.
Right.
Rhaenyra's
Okay,
just got two
look,
boys.
Oh, right.
I am.
No,
I am
she's-
kin
that's right, right.
challenged.
Yeah.
Thinking
I
of
told you guys
Alicent.
about
Yeah,
I am
feedback.
thinking of
Alicent
Alicent's
has
daughter.
2 boys and a girl,
Yes.
and all of them now have a dragon. Aegon has a
Mhm.
dragon.
Yeah.
The girl had a dragon,
Yeah.
Helena,
Helena, yeah.
and then
Right.
now Aemond has
Aemond,
Vagar,
Right.
Mhm.
which is the
But
biggest dragon of all. of them.
Rhaenyra is gonna have more kids, and they're gonna have
Right.
silver
Oh
hair.
yeah. They
Right.
gonna
Oh,
have
yeah,
some
silver-haired
silver-haired
babies.
Yeah.
They got to get more
But
dragons.
like I
Mhm.
suggested, but it could be that she starts having girls now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Could
Yeah,
be.
because he has
Possible.
2 girls now.
Yep.
And we now know, DNA that who
Yeah.
controls what. So yeah,
Yeah.
No.
could
So
be.
I have another question for everyone, and that is, so Larys Strong. I have a sneaking suspicion it might be obvious to everyone else. He's working with Otto. Otto got
Of
him to
course.
kill his father and brother because when he killed his father, Otto was there to become the hand again.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And what I do love about this show is because we're focusing so much on these what I'll call small scale family relationships, you can see there's other stuff going on in the bigger world. They're kind of not showing us what we should be seeing, right? So at the wedding when Allison comes out in that big green battle dress and then starts talking to all the people of Westeros,
Mhm.
she's making it clear to everybody there, these are my allies. Come
Oh,
after
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
kids. I dare
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there's all kinds of talk going on in the background about what they're going to do to make sure that
But I have a question on that though.
yeah, sure.
I do too.
If
Mhm.
indeed Clubfoot and Otto worked in the background to get this done, I still need to know what enmity was between the father and son for Larys to kill his father and
Right.
brother.
What happened?
We
to
know
him?
he's jealous
Yes.
of Sir Harwin.
Mm.
I mean, he
Well,
was the
he's-
breaker of bones. He was a knight and all this stuff, So you
Larys
can see
is
that,
also a
that
second
jealousy
son.
there.
Yep.
But
True.
well, but
He's a
dang,
But
second
his
son.
kill your
father,
father?
like, right.
Yeah.
Well,
We
Now,
need
what
some
do you think
information.
he wants? What he keeps saying to Allison, you're
Yeah.
going to have to give me something in the end. What could that be?
no.
Right.
Yeah, because he's already got Harrenhal,
wants-
so he's not going to be the
Right.
hand.
But
Otto's
It's
there.
something
He wants
more
it's something he
power.
wants enough that he
Yeah.
killed his brother and father for.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And
What
one
could
thing they're
that
not,
be?
you're also right though, they're not giving us the backstories
Yes.
Yeah.
that we would love to
Mhm.
see.
I want
for
the
example,
backstory.
Damon's marriage. I would have loved to watch,
Yes.
because
yeah.
the fact is the wife he killed says to him, you couldn't finish. Well, in his next marriage, he could, right? And he had 3
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
And she
So-
seemed
Yeah.
cool. What was his problem?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
she was a formidable huntress
Yeah.
Yes.
and everything. I mean,
I think his
mm.
problem was his EDI was or whatever you call it. His erectile dysfunction.
ED. ED.
His ED.
See,
Yeah,
I don't
we
have,
got
you know,
ED.
I got to look that stuff up to know what you're talking about.
We already discussed that in our podcast. Yeah, it's ED.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's
I
what we
think
call
they're
it.
trying to make the case that it was all stress related because there's no
Yeah.
way
Oh,
he was
yeah.
going to go live with
Yeah.
her and not be in the court. There's no way he was going to
Mhm.
not be in the game.
That's
And
true.
the fact that I love the way they showed the two of them flirting on their dragons. I love the way they
Yes.
danced together at the wedding. And then the next thing you know, you got 3 kids 10 years later.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I want to see those parts of Damon. I want to see those
know.
parts of
Yes.
her because
Mhm.
because we see the effects 10 years later. And
Right.
then I love the scene
Yes.
where
Mhm.
he's saying, we're just going to stay in Pentos because I'm tired of this political crap. That's what he's saying is, I'm never going to get to be the king. I'm going to just stay here and
I'm
dig on
giving up.
this.
Absolutely.
And then she
Mhm.
just gets real close to him and says, baby, that's not the man I married. And any other woman would have said that to him. He'd have killed her. I mean, he just, so
True.
they loved each other. She could give him crap. She could push him, which is what you want in a
Right.
healthy relationship.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And, you know, there's a whole 8-episode series they could do on that
Oh, yeah.
relationship.
For that.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that even though we only got to know her for a short time, but we got some good information. First of all, she knew that he was in love with Rhaenyra,
Mm.
and she accepted that. But she
Mhm.
also
Mhm.
knew that in his way to compartmentalize things, he loved her too.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
had a good life together
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
Pentos, and she was, satisfied and happy. And you could tell that Damon was too, especially
I
with
don't
the
think she was
oldest girl.
satisfied and happy.
He was training
Mm.
her and being
Yeah.
with her and everything. Now, why the little one felt slighted or he didn't pay
Mhm.
attention to her,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because they do like second son. She's the second daughter. I don't know.
Mm.
See, so we don't get that story either,
No.
Mhm. Right.
because she did say to her mom,
He doesn't talk
he
to
ignores
me.
Doesn't
me.
talk to me. Yeah.
yeah, he
Right.
doesn't
Mhm.
talk to me.
Mhm.
So we need to know how come. Why come?
Why come?
Yeah, why
Because you
not?
got
Well-
2 little girls,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But Lady
So-
Lena, I don't know if she was truly that satisfied. She missed her
Wasn't.
family.
Well,
She
that's
wasn't.
true.
Driftmark.
She wanted to
She
go
wanted
back
to go
to
home.
He
Driftmark.
wanted to be home.
Mhm.
And she said,
Right.
I made my peace with us a long time ago, which means
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
she knew he didn't love, like, even when Rhaenyra asked him on the beach, did you love her? He said, we were happy. He didn't say, I loved her. He didn't
Yeah.
love her.
Right.
Right.
We were happy
So
enough.
she couldn't have been happy
Right.
with that because she
Yeah.
loved him, obviously. So
Yeah.
that's
Obviously.
when she said, I made peace with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
Hey.
she was that happy. And then she was so
But-
far away from her family, her brother,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
That's
her
true.
parents.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
But when you marry somebody that you already know loves somebody else, that's the price you pay.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of
Yeah.
these marriages are put together for not the reasons of
Right.
love
Political
or
reasons and
happiness.
stuff.
right.
Mhm.
And these are
Mhm.
people of power who are not going to give up their power.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Every one
she
of them is
married
not gonna
him
give up their
because she
power.
truly loved him. But
Yes.
and that's why they're off in Pentos, because
Right.
it wasn't like for a political thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, and see, we don't get that either. What did C
No.
Snack say about that? When she told
Right.
him, oh, guess what? I'm marrying Damon Targaryen.
Right.
That's the
How
risk
did
they
he
take.
feel about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because he
No.
likes Damon. Because
I
the
think
first
he
time,
was okay with it.
true.
Yeah.
The first time we see them, and when Damon comes into that council and stuff, C Snack or Corliss is the only one who's supporting him.
Right.
Yes.
Because they're
and
both soldiers. They both know
Yeah.
the importance of things. And like the whole season, Corliss has been like about that business. And
Yeah.
those
Yes.
councils. The king isn't, which is why he's always irritated looking when he's there. 'Cause the king don't want to talk about real issues. Like,
No.
oh, we have to talk about
Yeah.
this crab dude again. and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not doing no war. I'm not even going to put
Right.
anybody over there.
Let's just have a
We'll be
tournament.
fine.
Yeah.
Let's just have a tournament for my son that's coming.
Yeah.
And Corliss is annoyed.
Yeah.
And he's
And-
about that
Yeah.
business. He wants to
He's
get
about it.
let's protect our stuff because we can't have
Yeah.
I get you don't want a war, but it's coming. This dude's coming.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
You got to
and I
fight
think he
for it.
recognizes
think-
that in Damon too. So they have
Yeah.
that connection.
Yeah.
Right. And how Damon went in that fight alone, like that, I'm sure that impressed.
I mean,
Oh,
C-Snack.
yes.
Yes.
It really
Oh, yeah.
impressed
Impressed
him. And I
me.
wouldn't
Let's
be
make that
surprised.
clear.
Yeah, it
was
impressed all of us.
super impressive.
Yeah.
That was really
Very.
good writing too, because it really
That
made
was
it clear
good.
what's at stake for him is like everything. His
Mhm.
identity
Yeah.
is completely trashed by what he experiences as an incompetent brother. And there's another incompetency in his brother, in that the king will tell Damon he's doing atrocities while he reaps the benefit of a stable government. Right. So he gets to look like the benevolent king while his brother's out doing the
Mhm.
crap. And he knows in his soul that when he's denying the value of Damon's work, he knows
Mhm.
what he's doing. And that is weakness. When you won't
Yeah.
celebrate your killers,
Yeah.
right, you put yourself right on the block. And I'm actually surprised he's lasted this long. I think he's lasted this
Who,
long.
the king?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
lasted this long
Yeah,
because of
how
the
come
writers.
he's still alive?
He should have
he-
died in episode
Hey, he
Yeah,
should be gone.
2 or 3 for sure.
I mean, because
Yeah.
if nothing else,
Yeah.
those pussy swords and stuff are eating him
should
away.
have taken him
Mhm.
out.
Yeah, they
No.
cutting off his limbs already.
Well, he won't
Ugh.
make it to the end of the season. We're going to see
Yeah.
that shift
Yeah.
Dead.
of
Mhm.
power.
Yeah.
Dead.
I think so
So,
too.
And we're getting
Yeah.
close to the end. So it's,
Hanging for dear life.
We
Yes.
are, absolutely. So I have another
Yeah.
question for you.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you what I think the best costume of the season so far is.
okay.
And you can
Ooh.
agree or disagree, but I'll tell you what, next time I go to a con, I am dressing like Damon at that wedding.
Yes,
am-
Lord.
Yes.
God, I'm getting that black leather,
Yes,
whatever the
whatever
hell he
that
was
was.
wearing. I'm going to do my hair, spray it white and swag in, sit down, and people ask me questions and I say,
just be
"And
looking
who are
around
you?"
like-
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, do it.
Don't have to say a
Oh,
word.
But you know what though? Yeah, that
God.
he looked so good.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
rocking
He
that
looked
suit.
really good in
And he
that.
was rocking that scene. So that's the thing is, I think he's actually rope-a-doping most people most times. In other words, he's at that wedding. He knows what Allison's doing. He's
Mhm.
watching where she's going, but he always pretends like it doesn't matter. And
Exactly.
then one of my
Mhm.
favorite Damon scenes of the season so far was this last episode where where Allison tells Cole to go take the eye of one of Rhaenyra's
Right.
kids. Cole actually starts walking, and who interferes but Damon?
Right.
I know. Did you love it?
Yeah.
Damon, no,
He
you ain't doing
grabbed
that
him
here.
up like,
Yeah.
no,
Stopped him in
that's
his
not
tracks.
happening today.
Mm-mm.
I think it was a big deal that it was Damon that stopped him. There was something in the writing about Damon saying, "Okay, I'm crazy, but y'all are insane. This is not happening.
Yeah.
I'm
Like if
watching
the
you guys."
craziest person in the room is stopping it.
Yes. You know,
But
something's up.
Damon is not
Oh,
crazy though.
exactly.
He really is.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's just
really
willing
is.
to do the
Mm,
dirty work
he's
that no
willing
one
to do
else will to
shit.
keep a kingdom going. And
Right.
that I'm not saying I'm pro that kind of behavior, but in the
Oh,
Game
yeah,
of
I
Thrones
am.
world,
I am. Hey, you got to shank a person every now and then.
Send
You
Sister
gotta
J
check
in for
it.
that work.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you
Lord.
Go ahead,
So,
Sister J. You go
we
ahead.
definitely have a dragon in the house tonight for sure.
Okay.
Shoot.
So there's
You know
another-
what? They would not want me to have a dragon. I'd be burning them all
my
up all the time.
gosh.
I think that
Oh, we
state
already
of
Oh,
knew.
you
Texas,
want to
We
get
already
in my
knew.
face? But wait a minute.
Who cares?
I think the state
Yeah.
of Texas would actually outlaw dragons if you had one.
Yeah.
So
They
best,
would.
best
They make a
costume
law.
of the season so far. I put Damon in the black leather at the wedding. What about you guys? Best costume so far.
Mm.
And Rhaenyra competes.
You know what?
Yeah.
I liked Sea Snacks
Battle armor. Yeah. yeah.
Mm.
battle
Yeah.
armor
That was
when they
rocking.
was going to the fight the Crab King, because once you notice the detail on it, it was
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It
I
was
wonder how long it took to like make that.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I know.
Forever.
It had all his sigil, but it was that all over. That sigil was all over almost every inch of
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
battle garment. It was
awesome.
really, really well done.
That was a
And
good
plus, I
scene
just
for him
like
too.
All
Is
of
it-
his stuff, though.
Yeah.
And by the way, we've never seen Viserys in a fight.
No.
No.
I'm just saying, there's no.
He
legend.
claims he well,
He doesn't have any armor or anything.
no, he don't have nothing.
You're not doing
He just
that.
has
Doesn't even hold
the
the
passed
sword
down
anymore.
stuff from
Right.
king to king. That's all he
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
in his youth, he was a dragon rider, but not in a war or anything.
Right. See, the thing is, if you're going to be a king and you don't want to do the dirty work, that's fine. But if you're going to be the king, celebrate your killers. Celebrate the people that are doing your work for you and stop
Mhm.
trying to look good because you tell them they're doing the wrong thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's.
I have another
Yeah.
question.
Oh, I
I
love
have
it.
another question. A person on the social media pointed out that with all of the vitriol and everything that Allison is shooting Rhaenyra about her children,
Mhm.
they pointed out that okay, but I think it was Renice or one of those other ones had dark hair also. One of those relatives had dark hair. So that's why the king refuses to believe that Jace
Is
and
holding
Luke are
on to-
not right. Are
Because
not
that's happening everywhere.
Targaryen.
Oh, 'cause
yeah,
You don't always
Yeah.
get a silver hair baby. I mean,
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
gotcha.
Right.
So that's
Hmm.
why.
Yeah,
And I thought,
yeah.
all right.
I think he's asking a little too much of the world.
Let's
He
hope not.
knows.
No.
He
Ask them
knows.
all
He
to
just
get
doesn't
along.
wanna
He
accept
knows.
it because
Okay.
He doesn't
it's
want to
that-
act on it,
No.
by
Yeah.
admitting it. So
So
Yeah.
Aegon's self-pleasuring scene in the window is probably one of the more ridiculous things we've seen. Yet it was Aegon who had the nerve to say to his to his
Yeah.
father, to say to his
his
father.
father.
That's his father.
Everybody knows.
Wasn't that something?
Everybody knows.
Mhm.
And I just love that. I don't know if you call it courage. It's just the kid couldn't stand his dad's ignorance. It's like,
Well-
what are you pretending? And I love the fact that he asked him thinking he was going to get
Right.
some like,
Mhm.
answer. It's like, no,
A real
everybody
answer.
knows, man.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but
He wasn't gonna
just
turn
like
on his
children
mama.
do, though, they wasn't gonna tell on their mama because
Mm-mm.
their mama put that. But the king already knew that they heard that from their mama.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
knew.
He already knew that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He
yeah.
knew
You
when
know.
Eamon looked at her with his
Eamon
one
looked
eye.
right at her
Exactly.
with his one
One
eye.
good eye. His one good eye.
Mhm.
How about, I mean, Aemond is now one of the better Game of Thrones players because he says, Mom, don't mourn my loss. An eye
Yeah.
for a dragon is a good trade.
Yeah.
Kid's
It is a
14
good
years
trade.
old and he gets what's at stake.
Mm-hmm.
It's the nuclear
know,
bomb that's at stake. And dude gets
I did not like him fighting with the other kids, especially hitting
No.
them girls.
No, that
However,
was
No.
however, just what I told the other sisters, what he said was not wrong.
right.
What he said to
You should've.
Bela was not wrong. Well, you should have went and got her then.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Yes.
what he said, but it was just the way he said it and everything,
Yeah.
and then start fighting with them. You know, that was really
Mhm.
bad. But he wasn't wrong.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, that's on C-Snack.
Yes.
All right. In other words, whoa, that's our family's dragon, yo. Someone write that thing right now. We got all these Targaryens.
Or
running
Damon's
around.
job.
Yeah.
Get her out
Yeah.
there.
Someone on that
You know
damn
what?
thing
You
right
are
now.
absolutely correct because
Mhm.
they know when
Yeah.
a dragon's rider dies, then somebody else needs to bump them. So yeah, you're right. That's on
So,
them. That's on C-Snack.
I'm with
They
you on the
I
whole.
agree with Sister A. That's on Damon too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get your daughter right
Mhm.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Get
true.
your
Yeah.
mama's
You're
dragon.
right.
Oh, well
You're
said.
right.
Actually, it's
But
more on Damon.
if
You're
he's
absolutely
on
right.
Damon-
Yes,
He
it
doesn't
is.
mess
It's
with
more
the
on
kids
Damon.
much or mess with that daughter much. He wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Damon
Obviously,
didn't
he
lose
doesn't.
his mind at all.
No.
He
But
didn't
but
lose his mind at
Shalita
all.
did. Well, but Shalita did post in our Facebook
Yeah.
group a scene that was deleted where he was comforting the girls.
That's true.
And why the producers chose to delete that
Right.
scene,
Yeah.
Mm.
nobody knows, but it was deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So
Why does HBO have to delete anything, man?
Right. They can make it as long as they want.
because
As long as-
because they want to keep him as the villain person, I guess,
I
or
guess.
aloof or something. But that scene, he was consoling when the girls was up on the roof,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and as they was getting the mother,
Looking at the
Mhm.
body.
and he was consoling both of the girls. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
he didn't do much
for whatever
consoling at her
reason, they
funeral,
cut
though.
that out.
No,
They were
No,
all on their
not
own.
the girls anyway.
Yeah,
No,
not the,
and
not the girls.
Well, but I think,
Consoling.
That's a really
well,
good
but in
point.
my opinion, that's because they were with their grandmother. I think probably in their lives, like
okay.
just living, he didn't do a whole lot with them. Because they were with their mother. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they were
Yeah.
girls. But he was showing that oldest girl, like, charts and papers and stuff.
Yeah.
So he did interact with her, but
Yeah.
that was probably part of that whole patriarchy thing. But
Yep.
if I recall, at the funeral, though, they were with the girls, and he kind of stood off because, like he told Rhaenyra, at least now everybody looks at him and sees that he can, what do you say? He could express his sorrow. Because yeah, he was not only sorry about Lena, but he's sorry that he ain't king. He's sorry he wasn't named king. He's sorry he wasn't named the hand. All these things, but he can he can hide behind the fact that I'm really grieving because of my wife dying. But he mad about this other stuff too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's make it clear. He's also standing off by himself, exuding all of those vibes to let everybody know he's available.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think they probably chose not to put the comforting scene in there for the very reasons you say. They want him to be more of a patriarch.
Yeah.
But his gentle scenes with his wife were just fantastic.
Yeah,
And
they were great.
Yes.
I mean, she still be a ruthless killer and take care of your girls.
She went in a terrible way, so there was no question he was mourning.
Well, and another person pointed out too. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say a person pointed out that when she overheard the Meister or the surgeon saying, the baby's not coming, and even if I tried to, cut it out open, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee the baby would live, and your wife would surely die. Right. And she heard that, so she wanted to go out on her own and die a dragon rider's death. However, as somebody pointed out, she was up on the upper level. That dragon was all the way outside. So
just
she had to
think about it.
Yeah, let's not get caught up in that. I mean,
all the way out that castle, out to the outside.
No,
I mean, go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
What I was going to say that someone pointed out that I didn't think about either is that the Meister didn't say all that. He just said, I've exhausted the limits of my surgeon. I'm exhausted the limits of what I can do.
That's true.
Damon asked, will the mother, we're going to have to get this baby out. Damon asked, will the mother survive? Which they said is juxtaposed with Viserys asking, will the baby survive? When it was Emma. So they were trying to make a point that, Damon, even though he didn't love her really, he was asking more about her than the baby.
Right.
Which maybe indicated that he cared about her more than he, let on. So I don't know. I know as a woman and knowing what happened to the queen, I probably would have been like Lena and tried to hottail it out of there before they started getting the knife out.
Well, it made perfect sense for her because she had already told him in the previous scene when they was on the veranda that, she wanted to go home and stuff. And he said, no, we stay in the Pintos, because she said she wanted her girls to have their birthright, and she wanted to die a dragon rider's death when it's her time.
So that's
why she chose to do what she did.
So
because Vagar wasn't having it at first.
No, the dragon had to think it through, right? And what I think they denied us, I got to admit that seeing Damon kind of left with that choice that his brother had been left with, and then having his wife resolve it for him, or at least we don't know what happened, was kind of like the Glenn dumpster dive. In other words, we all knew their choice had to be made, and they don't let us know who's making that choice. And
that's true.
The only reason they showed us that scene, the only reason Martin wrote it, was to contrast Damon with Viserys, right? Well, let us see.
Yeah.
Did she go to him and say, baby, I am not going through this? And he said, I love you. And then she takes off. In other words, doing that was
I know,
playing
I
us.
know.
And I don't
Mhm.
care for that. The Game of Thrones did not play us. They told a story, and we were surprised that we didn't know what was going on. I mean, people were dying left and right, and we didn't know why. But they weren't. That almost felt like, I don't want to say fan service because it wasn't pleasant, but it's like, damn, don't
Right.
write at me. Don't, well,
but Damon was, or to me, he appeared shocked that she was outside
Yeah.
trying
yes,
to
he
get
was. He
Vagar
was
to burn her
surprised.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he
Fair
was
enough.
running. He
He
was
was.
running.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was
I didn't
shocked.
take
Yes.
it that way at all. I took it like she snuck out. Like, I don't know how she snuck out with all those
Mhm.
handmaidens
Right.
around, but
Yeah, right.
she just
So
took
she made the
off,
choice
and they
completely
didn't-
on her own.
She made
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
That's,
Got up
that's
and
the
left.
way I took it too.
If there wouldn't have been a conversation, because he would have said, "Oh no, stay in the bed," and then they would have
Right.
snatched her up and cut her. So
Right.
she was like, "I'm not having no
Mhm.
conversation because I know how this
Right.
shit gonna go."
Mhm.
Wow. Do you think
She
she
had-
was
she
scared of
hurried
what
up to go
decision
out
he
there.
would? Do you think that
No.
she
Oh,
felt
yes.
he would decide to
Yes.
have her cut? I mean, that's what we
Yes.
didn't get, right? What decisions did Damon
I think that's
make?
obvious. I think that's,
Yeah.
but I think that's obvious. They didn't need to
Yeah.
show that. It was obvious when
Mhm.
she,
I agree
because as
with
soon
you.
as she heard that conversation, she was like,
She took off. Yeah.
"No,"
Like,
She took off.
said no, and then she
Say
started
less.
backing up.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You
Peace
can see
out,
I'm
'cause
trying to
I'm gonna do
build
this
all
Out.
this. I'm trying to build all
Yeah.
this
I agree
love
with
into
Sister
Damon's
K.
character.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
And
Yeah.
that's why when she got out there and she said it 20, 30 times, Dracarys,
She said it a lot
knew
too.
Yeah.
Vagar did not want to do it. And she was
No.
like pleading with Vagar.
Please. But
That
you
was
know
some
what?
good
The
CGI
emotion
though,
on
wasn't it?
Vagar's
Oh, Jesus.
face,
I
though.
know. I
know.
know.
It's awesome.
Oh,
That
Such
was
a good
some
my
really
gosh.
good CGI.
Terrible, but excellent.
Terribly
Yes.
excellent. And the thing
Yes.
is, did you feel like that scene came a little early in the storytelling? A little quick
no.
in the storytelling? Or did you
Well,
feel like
I
it was...
think it's
Yes.
all quick. Like all
Everything's
of these
moving
time
quickly,
jumps,
you're right.
everything is quick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, but
It
they
worked
have
well.
to get to
I'm
it
just
though.
not...
Yeah.
I mean-
why they have to get to it?
Why? They're acting like this is
Because-
a mini series. They can
Right,
take their time a
right.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Because they want to get into the war, and the
Yeah.
war is really
Well, we're
waged
jumping again
with
this
the
coming
children.
week.
The
Yeah.
children
So
are
we're
the
moving.
ones that actually wage the
Yeah.
war.
Yeah.
That's
So
why they're moving so quick.
I would have been okay with getting to the kids in season 2.
Yes.
Well, true,
Agreed.
but I
And
mean,
Yeah.
you know,
explain
these
a
are the
little bit
writers
more
that did this shit.
of
so-
this generation.
Yeah.
and they
agree.
might go back. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there is a prequel coming to this prequel. And
Is that
it
the
is about
10,000 ships?
no, this
Oh,
is
the
about
Valerian story. Yeah.
this is about Nymeria. And
Oh,
it's set
okay.
1,000 years before Game of Thrones.
That's pretty bold to keep doing prequels.
Yes.
No, I mean, that's
I read
pretty
that. I
bold,
read
you
that.
know?
There's so much history
Yes.
with it. I mean, he
Yes,
has
you're right.
written such a big,
He did
rich
a really
world.
fantastic job.
and there's
Mhm.
history that built on the Game
Yeah.
of Thrones stories,
Yeah.
and he has books about the histories of all of
Exactly.
these
I
families.
mean,
They
we
go
still
back
need a
and back
history of
and back.
Bravos.
Yes.
Yeah.
We-
You know?
we-
Yeah.
And the
history of
Iron
the
Bank
dragons,
and all that
history of
stuff.
so much.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
need
well, now
that.
that we're on this history thing, I mean, one of the things I wrote about in my feedback to your recent podcast was I love the mythology of Game of Thrones. I have to admit, I'm one of those people who loved the magic. I love the Red Witch. I
Yes.
love the Song of Fire and Ice of the dragons versus the White Walkers. This has got none of that right now.
I
That's
know.
playing
Mm-mm.
out. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong because one of the guys I podcast with, he loves it. He just wants straight Shakespeare and, court intrigue. And look, I've seen plenty of people behave poorly. I don't know. I mean, we know that Shakespeare knew what he was talking about. So for me, I want a little more
Shakespeare
magic.
was drunk a lot too, though.
Well,
No, excuse
I almost
me.
said
He was
so am
high.
I, but I
No,
shouldn't
no.
say stuff like that.
I take that back. He was high a lot because he was a cocaine user,
Yeah, it doesn't
just like
surprise me.
Nietzsche.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Freud.
there is a little mysticism, right? With maybe
Helena.
Helena and Laris.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
he's
and
Laris has a
potentially
ward.
Yeah.
warging, correct? Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
very, very little compared to
It's
Yeah.
Game
very
of
Yeah.
light.
Thrones.
Mhm.
So I'm not
I
saying
agree.
it's a problem.
I missed that part of it.
Yeah. I loved, my God,
I
the
miss
first
it. I
scene
miss
of
it
the
too.
series. Well, the first scene of Game of Thrones was a White Walker tracking that guy
Yes.
down. And then
Right.
what? What the
Like,
hell?
what?
And you don't see him again
You're
for
like,
4
what?
episodes.
And those
or
horses
something.
and things put in that
Oh,
shape,
Lord.
yeah, and they were killed, you know?
Oh,
Oh,
Lord,
yeah.
yeah.
That was, yeah. Yeah.
So we're not going to go into why they never explained any of that symbolism. We'll just move on. But
I know.
I read fantasy novels to get that vibe into what
I
I'm
do
reading.
like that as well. I
Yeah.
really
I'm
do like
okay
that
without
as well.
the fantasy vibe.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, I like
great.
it anyway.
I mean, what the wonderful thing is that they already paid for it to be made. It's in the can. It's just a test of what people want, and they'll
Mhm.
decide next time if they put more magic
Yeah.
into it or not. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just wish they would give us. I feel like the dragon story alone is part of that, because in Game of Thrones, it was such a mysterious thing that for hundreds of years, these eggs never did hatch. There
Yeah.
was nothing to it. Here comes Daenerys. She's so
Yes.
obsessed, like watching the eggs, putting them in the fire, and all of that, and they hatch. So to me, I want to know: did all the Targaryens in the line, not all, but did some other Targaryens in the line have the same kind of bond, or I don't know what the word is, something with the dragons? Like, not everyone has an egg hatch for them. We know
Right.
this now.
right.
Mhm.
And not every dragon is going to bond with every child. We know this now from this show. But is
Mhm.
there, and I still go back to this, are Targaryens, obviously not, all like Daenerys, where they can't burn, where they
Right.
have this
We
like
need to see some of that. Yes.
communing with the
Yes.
dragon? Like, can we have some of that history or
Mhm.
mythology to the dragons? It doesn't have to be all magical and stuff, but just let us know,
Yeah.
like, how does
Right,
this
right, right,
really
Mhm.
How does it work?
And then
Yeah.
Rhaenyra did say when
Mhm.
she was at the council trying to make peace with Alicent, that she said, I forgot her dragon's name. Maybe her, like, once if they betroth
Syrax.
the kids,
Yeah,
thank
Cyrax.
you. Syrax would possibly hatch some more eggs that they would give
Yes.
those children one of them.
Right.
So
Right.
obviously, like, the whole thing about dragons having eggs and not all of them
Yeah.
are having eggs, and how many do they have, and if they'll hatch and all that, they could really kind of delve into that a little bit more and
Yeah.
like make it
Yeah.
that person, child, whatever, is special because their eggs hatched.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. I wonder if they're saving all that for the episode where someone tries to ride Laenor's dragon and gets burned up. And then
Well-
why they get
Mhm.
burned up comes to be. And you recognize some of these Targaryens have what we can only call psychic connections with these dragons that have certain
Yeah,
rules
psychic
to them that we
connection.
don't know.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
maybe they're saving that for a big magic.
That would be
thing.
a good,
Yeah. It would be good.
Yeah.
a good reveal.
It would be
Yeah,
a cool
and-
scene too.
And now
Yes.
that you think about it, I mean, we were introduced to the grown-up Lenore when he was riding Sea Smoke, but does Corlys ride a dragon?
We've never seen it, have we?
you haven't
Yeah,
seen
we
it?
haven't
No
seen
one's ever
that.
talked about it.
So,
Mm-mm.
I do love, though, this whole Valerian family lines connection.
I do too.
Yeah.
Not only dragons, but the sea. Because
Yes.
Laenor is like
Yes.
so ready to get back to sea.
Yeah.
He wants to
Yes.
get back on that boat, but we know he also rides. So I just love that they
Yes.
put those two
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
I do
Yes.
too.
And
Yeah.
obviously those dragons that they have love the sea also.
Yeah, because
Yes.
they're
They're-
actually trying to
Yes.
dip a little bit into the water.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
And that was
So-
amazing to me also with Lena's sea burial. And the first thing you notice is all those cat coffins down there. There's
Yeah.
a bunches of them
Mhm.
down there. So they
Yes.
must all be buried at that same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's their family tradition.
Plot.
Yes.
That's their
Their
family
plot,
plot.
The
Right.
plot.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're right on the ocean.
But
Well, I
but
do-
I
I
thought,
do
but I
hope-
like that kind of detail though. I thought that
Right.
was really,
Yeah.
really
Right.
good.
So
Mhm.
in Game of Thrones, I'm going to embarrass myself. There was the seafaring culture.
Mhm.
What were they called?
Yes.
Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys. And
Greyjoys.
what lives may
Nice.
never die. Was that their phrase? Was it?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that stuff was so cool in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Right.
I bet they got it from C-Snack.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
And
maybe
somewhere.
we learned that, but
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but all we got at this funeral was what we're used to at funerals, which is a
That's
bunch
true.
of adults peering at each other. Right.
But I
we
will
didn't
say,
get a whole
though,
lot of, we saw the
That's
ritual,
true.
but we didn't get any history of it.
But I will say though that yeah, we need some kind of mythology or something, because I'm really, really intrigued with the fact that this was supposed to be, I think the beginning said it was 172 years
Right.
before
Mhm.
Daenerys. But the 7 is there.
Yes.
The 7 is there.
Yep.
So I want to know where they came from. You know what I mean?
Well, hearing you say that, there
When?
was so
Yeah,
much
when?
religion, there was so much mythology in Game of Thrones
Yes.
that satisfied a fantasy, a fantasy reader like me.
Well, but here too, they have the werewood tree. They have the old gods and the
Yes.
new.
Yes, they still
They
have
have
that.
the
as
7.
well,
They have
yeah.
them.
They have the
Yeah.
werewood tree,
Mhm.
and there was a third one too, and I can't think of that. I can't think of now what it was, but yeah. So
So do you-
there were some
Yeah.
prayers to all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Mm.
So do you think they're making writing choices to just throw us in the middle of this crazy family dynamic and we get to learn all the juicy details about the crazy family, and then in season 2 we carry those relationships with us into they grow up or the next generation, and we start to build
Mhm.
mythology around it? I mean, that's pretty bold.
They're
'cause
going to
that
have
would-
to do some backstory, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
One thing that I miss a lot
Yeah.
in this show too is like the family mottos, like the Starks, the flags, the
Mhm.
mottos,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what we just said, the Greyjoys.
yeah.
Those
What does the
things that
Valyrians
carry
say?
like their mission
Mhm.
statement kind of the family.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's your mission
No.
statement?
Yeah.
Let's have an HR meeting for each of these houses.
Like their family
Oh.
crest, motto, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't have a lot of that in this one yet, but maybe it's because it
Mhm.
hasn't been like established, or maybe it comes later.
Well, but also
Yeah.
by the time we get to Daenerys and them, I mean, House Targaryen is like no more. So,
That's a good
Right.
point. Is that the
it's no
Targaryen
more.
line goes
It's
goes
just them
away?
two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Which
yeah.
means
By the time we get to her.
Mm-hmm.
we know that the Baratheons end up on the throne because of Robert's rebellion,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And I'm not exactly sure if that's something that's 150 years down the road. But that
Yeah,
leads
see,
me to
I
believe
don't know.
that the Greens versus the Reds is season 2, or, that it really kicks off in the finale where,
Well, but not
Where
only
the
that, but the Vale and Blackstone,
yeah,
they're going to be feuding too. Remember?
Yep. no, exactly.
Blackfish was from that one. And
The veil.
that chick's
Yeah.
crazy sister was at the Vale.
Yeah.
Blackfish's costume is, by the
Breastfeeding
way,
her
the
10-year-old.
best
His-
costume
Yes.
in
Yes.
any
Yes.
episode of Game of Thrones, any episode
Well,
of television ever.
I
Danny's
really
white
like-
coat, I'm with you, but
I really like Cersei's black.
damn.
I was gonna
gown
say,
thing.
Yeah.
when Cersei,
Damn.
after she did that walk
Yes.
of shame,
Her hair chopped
all
off.
naked
yeah.
and her hair chopped off, and then she come up in there in that black,
black-
leather. That,
Okay.
yeah,
Eva,
that's got to
So,
be it.
Cersei in the black dress and Blackfish in the black leather scales walking into a high school prom would have
I
just
know, that would
taken
be
over the
awesome.
world. Taken over the
That would
world.
be awesome.
And I can't believe how much money they spend on the tailoring for this show.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
These costumes. And
They have
when,
to.
Well,
when
and
we
just
had
all the sets, like all the
Mhm.
decor.
But the
Unbelievable.
costuming, when they, this is the thing that to me is so impressive, and that is they only zoom in on it for like a second or two, but you
Yeah.
get all that rich detail on
it's
their
crazy.
armor,
Mhm.
on their
Yes.
clothing, on their hair. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really well done.
Rhaenyra's
well done.
dragon rider outfit
Yes.
with the little
Yes.
black
Yes.
scales was off the hook.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I I love the fact that I can guarantee you the tailors are having fun. Everybody's
yeah.
having fun coming up with the ideas.
Wig makers.
Exactly.
Yes.
And their hair looks
Which are
good.
better, way better than the Game of
Way
Thrones
better.
crew. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Very much so.
Mhm.
I want to see who's putting this hair together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's what I want to see.
I have a little bit of viewer mail to share with you all. And this man asks a fantastic question. So his name is Mario Diaz. And he says, hi, quick thing I noticed. In the previous episodes, King Viserys and Queen Alicent's only daughter, Helena,
Mhm.
predicted that Aemond would get a dragon, but would have to exchange an eye for one.
Mhm.
Do you guys remember
Yes.
that moment in the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
all
when
right.
she was playing with that beetle bug thing.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right.
the millipede thing. Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
goes on to say,
That was when Alicent was. Well,
go ahead, go no, go ahead,
Allison
go
was
ahead.
sitting
Well,
with her.
Yes.
Right. Alicent, well,
Oh,
Alicent,
that's right,
no,
that's right, that's
that
right,
was
yeah.
when Alicent was chastising Aemon for being out there in the dragon pit, remember? Because the Kingsguard
Yeah.
brought him up and she said, why you always out there? You all smelly and stuff. And he says, but I want a dragon, but they gave me a pig. That's when
Yeah.
Helena said, oh, you'll get a dragon, but you got to give up an eye.
So
And she
here's
was
the
playing with that bug.
well, that's another thing because she's playing with bugs again. She's playing with the
Yes,
spider again.
Mhm.
And she's saying all kinds of stuff. So here's what he asks. This episode, she made a similar prediction between the marriage of Rihanna and Damon. Not Rihanna. Lord have mercy, Scott, read the page.
Rihanna.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra.
Damon wishes.
Rihanna's on a
Rihanna
tour in
don't do it.
Vegas or something. She's busy.
Taking
Maybe
care of
I'm
that
projecting.
newborn.
That
Maybe I
baby.
gotta
Yeah,
puff my hair up a
newborn
little bit.
baby.
You must want to go to her show.
Well,
I'd love to go to one of her shows.
Yeah,
Tell you
she
what.
good.
well, anyway, this episode, she made a similar prediction between the marriage of Rhaenyra and Daemon when she was playing with the bugs at the start of the episode. What's your speculation of her being a witch, similar to the Red Witch in Game of Thrones? Since she hasn't been focused too much this series, what role do you see her playing in the fight for the Iron Throne, if any at all? And he's got another question, but I'll put that one on the table now because that's a good question.
It
Mhm.
is.
Okay,
Question.
on our podcast, we kind of touched on it a little bit because we talked about the fact that, you know, how they tend to marry off the girls for political gain and stuff. But because they're setting us up for her to be, whether it's a witch or just clairvoyant or whatever the case is, I don't think she's going to go for it because as these kids get older, of course, she's getting older too. And because of her, she's probably going to get more, what would be the term? Skillful, maybe. I don't think she's going to go for it. So I look for her to go, to end up out in the woods with the witches.
Anyone
I don't
else?
think she's going to go for it because she already knows who's going to end up on the Iron Throne.
She
so
saw
it's
all
kind
that
of like
mess.
why,
Uh-huh.
She's foreseen. Yeah.
right,
Could
right.
be.
Why interfere then?
And that's
Mhm.
the
think
kind of
that-
parallel. Oh, go ahead, please.
Alicent, I feel like Alicent's not going to marry her off because she doesn't want her daughter to go through what she went through. But I feel like as soon as someone stops and pays attention to what she's saying, because right now
Yes.
no one's paying attention.
Right.
They
Oh,
think
she's a
just
whole
mumbling.
nother nuclear weapon.
They think she's just
Yeah.
special.
Right,
I think
exactly.
Alicent would use
And
her
as
in a
soon
minute.
as
Yes.
Mhm.
right, but Allison doesn't even pay attention to what she's saying either.
She
Otto.
doesn't.
But as soon as
Yeah.
Otto
Oh
Otto's
my
takes care of
God.
it,
You're
He's
right,
gonna be
Sister
like,
Clubfoot.
A. You're right,
Yeah,
Sister
Sister
A.
K was saying it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
As soon as he
Be friggin'
understands,
awesome if
yeah.
in episode 9.
He'll start tapping into that podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
He's gonna take a real liking to his grandchild, his other grandchild. He's gonna be like, oh, come sit with granddad, Helena.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Show me
them
some.
Show me them bugs and let's do that.
You're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
You know what?
if they
I
don't
think
do
you're
that,
right.
that's a lost opportunity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, because that's what the Game of Thrones did. You never knew where it was coming from.
Mhm.
Right.
You never knew where it was coming from. And suddenly
Yeah.
Otto, that we know can play, is
Yeah.
sitting down getting
Yeah.
futures trading, you know.
Yeah. Because think about it, Game of Thrones, we didn't know Lady Olenna was behind the scenes
Not
doing
at
those
all.
machinations.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell
Oh,
Cersei
that
it
was
was me.
I know. No, but before that, she's the one that met with Littlefinger, remember? When that whole little area burnt down and everything.
Mm.
What area? I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole brothel thing burnt down. And because they killed, and I forget who they killed, but they killed somebody specific.
Mm.
But that's because, and everybody was looking at someone else. And we kept saying, oh, I bet it was Littlefinger. But it was Lady Olenna
Whoa.
in cahoots with Littlefinger.
Oh,
don't you remember that?
Playing that game.
No, not
And
at
she
all.
was,
That's like a
she
whole
was
nother
an
show you was
expert.
watching.
Yeah.
What?
She's
But
been
I-
around the
I-
block a million times, Lady Olenna.
I love
Yeah.
the idea that this character, sometimes we don't pay attention to the fact that they put the camera on that character for a reason.
Mhm.
Always.
Oh, of course.
You know, and they
Always.
just drop it.
Mhm.
And the next thing you know,
But Lady Olenna
she's
has
what makes
got
the
to be
difference.
the best character ever.
The best by far.
Oh, the
By far.
best.
Oh my God. Did
The
I think
best.
I shared with the Sistah Speak Nation. I was at a con 3 or 4 years ago, and a woman was dressed like Olenna.
Ah, cool.
And so I went up to her and I said, hey, this is going to be weird. Can I have
What?
my friend take a picture of you and I having a discussion as if we're negotiating? And she said,
Mm.
sure. What are we going to talk about? Sex? It's been a while. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, that's exactly what she said. And it was the most amazing Olenna
Oh
move.
my gosh.
That's
was
awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
And it's like, damn, girl, you're hired. I mean, you know, to do the Olenna part.
She was
So-
all in. She was
Yeah.
all in.
Oh my,
Let's
she was
go.
all
Oh,
in.
that's- That sounds so
It
fun.
was, and that's one of the reasons I just love this con life, because that's where you're going to run into those people, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I have a picture of that, and I very much cherish that moment. So I got another question here. He says, also, can you explain your input on how the Valerians will respond to the robbery of Vagar? Wouldn't you imagine that they would try to kill Aemon to get the dragon back?
Mm.
No,
No.
I don't even know if they would consider it a robbery.
See, I don't think so either. I really don't.
Mm.
Because of
Because-
yeah,
I do. I think they would.
Really?
I don't think so because they
I love
know
it.
a dragon bonds with the person who they have that connection with. We already know from Lena that there's more than one way to bond with a dragon.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Right.
not only like from birth and the egg, yeah, you know, and everything. So he did, like I said,
But
he
someone
paid
else should have
attention
done.
to those
Exactly.
He did.
dragon
The classes.
wranglers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He paid attention to their
Yeah.
words, to
Mhm.
what they said, to how they got the little baby dragon to do this, do this, do this. He
Mhm.
knew exactly what to say.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
Vagar was getting ready to blow her fire, and he, whatever that word he used, and it started with a letter L, and I can't pronounce it, but anyway, and he said that 3 or 4 times, all of a sudden she calmed down.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
calmed down. Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
knew
Valerians
exactly
are
what
more
he was
kicking themselves for not
Absolutely.
moving faster.
Yes.
to
right.
ensure-
They should have moved faster.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be any repercussions because
Guarding.
he
too.
is bonded
Right.
now. And like when we see
Guarding it,
them, when
absolutely.
we see the
Mhm.
king and Allison on their boat going back to King's Landing, and Vagar and 2 other dragons are flying
Going
there
back
too.
with
So
them.
that probably
Mhm.
Sea Smoke and somebody else maybe. Anyway, well, whoever. Anyway,
Not-
I'm sure Aemon was on that dragon. He went on the boat. He's probably flying.
Well,
on Vagar.
Aemon is a very earnest little sociopath. Right. I mean, he understands.
But you got to
the
give
game.
it to him. I mean,
You
hey,
gotta
he
give it
Understands
to
the
him.
stakes, and he played that game.
Mhm.
And the only
because
way
he
I can,
didn't know if
Go
they
ahead.
would be burnt up.
No, he played the
Mm.
game. He took a risk,
He did.
and he got rewarded. And the thing is, the only way
Yep.
I can make sense of why Corliss didn't lose his mind is because of what you just said. That there's a deep-seated lore in these people. The dragons do their own choosing,
Yeah.
and once they do it, you don't.
The dragons
question
do
it.
their own choosing.
Mm-hmm.
But we need
feel
to
like
see a
Corliss
conversation
didn't have-
about that, man. I mean,
He didn't have time.
I know,
He didn't
I
have time
know.
to think about it. Look, this is the same day they buried his daughter.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
Someone should have
They
been
weren't thinking
guard-
straight.
Someone should have been
Damon lost
guarding
his life.
Vagar.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
They don't have their dragons cooped up there. That's the thing.
There's no parking
There's
lot.
no way to
Pretty
guard a dragon that big.
Well,
They don't
and
have them
plus-
cooped up in a cage with the chains and shit like they
You're
did.
right.
Mm.
You're
Dang,
right.
those dragons
Yeah, I
are
don't
out
mean in
and free.
chains.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
he was
right.
How
sleeping
else
out
you
in the
gonna guard a
dunes.
dragon?
Just have
Well,
somebody
So-
keep an
Just
eye
have
on him.
someone watching.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, come
Just
on.
So
someone
let's assume-
watching.
Let's assume
No.
that Corliss was so distraught that it just wasn't in his mind. Okay,
I'm
fine.
sure it was not in his mind.
But I don't think there's a person on this panel that would believe that Damon wouldn't have taken
Wasn't
care of
thinking about it.
business. And the fact that
Yeah.
he let it happen, the fact
Mhm.
that he didn't act like he cared, indicates that Damon is just
Yeah.
waiting for someone to make a stupid move. Damon doesn't care how all this works out. He just wants to make sure he's on top. If the
Mm.
Greens end up on top, he's going to be with them. If the Valerians end up on top, well, now that he's married, Rhaenyra, it's a little different. But at that
Mhm.
point, he didn't
Right.
know, right? And he's just keeping his game open. And
Well, I have a different take though. I think
yeah, because I talk too much. So
honestly
please.
no, but I honestly think that whether he likes to admit it to others or not, I think Damon was affected more deeply by Lena's
yeah.
death and the way
Oh
she died
yeah.
Yes.
than maybe the other people, because everybody else kept watching him and they kept watching
Mhm.
Rhaenyra.
Yes.
And he knew that. He knew all eyes were on him and
Yes.
everything.
Mhm.
But I
Yes.
think privately, though, I really don't think he even thought about Vagar because,
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
he did care for her and he's got 2 children.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whether he talks to them every day or not, that's, there's, you could tell by the ceremony that there's protocol and shit.
Viserys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And my girls
Mhm.
never minded if I didn't talk to them for 2 days.
Apparently, these daddies don't be talking to their kids after their mama
Right.
die. 'Cause
Right.
That's what
Exactly.
Viserys
That was
did.
how
So-
it was with Viserys and Rhaenyra.
Yeah, Rhaenyra.
What I love about
Mhm.
that deleted scene is that the writers didn't even know how to do Damon.
I know.
They set it
should've
all
put
up.
that scene
They
in
shot
there.
the whole scene and they decided not to show it because they weren't certain what they wanted to do
Mhm.
with that
Yeah.
character. How much do we show
Yeah.
him loving? And what they probably
Exactly.
missed is that it's completely possible to be a murdering lover of your children.
Yeah.
It is completely
Yes.
possible to do those
Yeah.
things. And by
There's
having
people
him have
that
that
go out and serial killer and stuff, but they
Mhm.
got a wife and family at home
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So by
Mhm.
him
that they really
actually-
love and care for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they do. They're not pretending they absolutely, exactly. So
Mhm.
the thing is showing him, consoling his daughters would have actually made him a more complex character.
It really would have.
I
Right,
think
really,
so. Mhm.
So you're right. Him ignoring, because by him ignoring them at the funeral, it basically makes it look like he's waiting for Rhaenyra to come to him.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right. It makes it look like he's posting himself on, Tinder is available.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, that just,
Not tender.
I'm sorry. I don't do that stuff. So I'm just putting words out.
You can tell he got kids.
What I love about
Whoops,
talking
you
to you
said
wonderful
yourself.
women is that I can say stupid shit and we're okay.
Oh yeah, because we say stupid shit too.
Because my kids won't waste the moment telling me I just said something stupid. But he was posting himself available, and that made him
Yeah,
look
yeah,
more
yeah.
sociopathic. And there's no reason, there's no need to make him look more sociopathic because he's not sociopathic in that world.
He's not.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's
But
what I love
did
about.
you think
go
about
ahead.
him? What did you think about him giving his brother the brush off when he said, "I don't need nothing from you," and then he walked on down to the beach, and that's when Rhaenyra followed him down to the beach.
Can you blame him?
Can you blame him?
I
Can't
know.
blame him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't
I
want
don't.
Viserys kind of help.
No.
Mm-mm.
And
He's
it's
still
like-
salty.
Well, it's too late.
What'd you
Yes.
say?
Too late.
10 ships,
Yeah.
20 people, or
You
something.
can't help me.
Yeah, I think that's what really started burning
Ship has
his
sailed.
britches because
It was.
when we already seen
Mhm.
that when it did burn him because he's like, oh, F this.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go take
Yeah,
care
yeah,
of this
it
right now.
did.
And if
Let
I
me go
die,
take care of
oh
this
well.
right now.
But he's
Yeah.
not gonna try to act like the savior, send me some tin ass measly ass ships.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
He is.
What is 10 ships going to do
With
for
his
me?
old pacifist
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
Let's make
I'm
it
gonna go
clear.
take care of this.
He's been living his best life with this beautiful woman in Pentos for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when he was in
Mhm.
Pentos, it's like, this is my lot. This is
Yep.
where I am. And then
Mhm.
his
Yeah.
brother comes around and tries to reconcile.
But
Mm,
Damon
yeah.
wasn't happy either. We knew this because
Yeah.
when she
Yeah.
said, all you do is go to the library, you don't even leave.
Yeah.
And we know that ain't
Yeah,
Damon. Shit,
that
he
ain't
was
Damon.
always
No,
in
that's
them
not him.
streets.
Oh, you don't think he
She
was
said
reading
was,
Laura?
You go to,
really don't
no,
think he was doing
what
that?
she said
Oh,
was
yeah, he
you
was
go to the
reading it.
library reading about the histories of the same people that you claim
Yes.
you don't care nothing about.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Y'all, she got him good on that one.
Oh, she
Yeah.
got him good.
Yeah.
So he wasn't happy. He was basically
No,
hiding
'cause he-
away from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
world, his
Mhm.
feelings,
Yeah.
all of it. So he wasn't happy either. He
Yeah.
said he was happy, but you know, he was.
He wasn't
Right.
happy, but he was living his best life in the sense that
Mhm.
he wasn't going to be able to be the king.
Mhm.
I mean, in other words,
Depending
for
on what
me, all that
yeah.
stuff he's reading, and she's telling him it's a contradiction for you to read that and love them.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, he's the second son. His
Mm.
brother, he considers him incompetent.
Yeah.
He would have let Corliss's crew die off in the narrow sea.
Well,
Yeah.
his brother
Yeah.
was going
Right.
to let him die. That's what it is.
Yes.
Right.
He's hurt.
Yes.
His brother
Yeah.
has pushed him aside
Yeah.
for 20
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
And when he overheard that conversation, that's when he got really salty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's when he went off to
Yeah.
the brothel and was talking shit about the death of the baby and the mama because
Right.
he
Mhm.
was mad because he overheard some shit he shouldn't have
Mhm.
heard. Excuse me. He overheard
That's
him, all those people telling him, oh, we told you to send him to the wall. We told you to send him
Yeah.
here. We had you do this, send him
Mhm.
this, did it. And I did all that. He's like, oh shit, he really did try to get rid of me all
Yeah.
these years.
Yeah.
And then he's got this old scheming ass dude trying to be
Yes.
his hand that really is
Otto.
only working for
Yeah.
his own good. And that's when he
Yeah.
said, why didn't you ever make me hand?
Right.
And he
I
finally
would be
got
there to
rid of
protect
him.
you."
Yeah.
And still didn't pick him to
And
be
And
the
then
hand.
he took him back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
you're
it's like
right.
he's been passed up as the hand really
Every
3
time.
times.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's been
and I
passed
think
up
That's a
for
good point. That's a
everything.
good point.
For
Yeah.
everything.
That's a good
Yeah.
And
point.
I get it. I get it. You'd be salty if I tried to sleep with your daughter, my niece, da da da. I get all
Mhm.
that.
right.
He got, and that's why he let him whoop his ass because you know Damon would have knocked Viserys
Oh,
out.
Oh,
Knock
him
him
out.
out.
sure.
And he
I
let
don't
him
know
because he
why.
felt.
Go ahead.
But this is a
Because he-
good this is a good point. Why won't Viserys let Daemon be the hand? And that's because he knows Daemon would be a better king.
Yes. He'd
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
take
You
over.
know.
And
Yeah.
everyone
He's
would
too
notice.
intimidated.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
too intimidated.
Yeah, it's too
And
late.
believe me, Daemon would have
Mhm.
never let Corlys be hanging. He of
Oh,
course,
no.
he
No.
He would
was
have been right there with
matters.
him.
No,
And
no.
actions matter.
Yeah.
And I think
Lord have mercy.
Mhm.
I think
And so
Daemon,
I think that's
Daemon's
also
done.
why he married Rhaenyra. Like,
Yes.
he
Oh,
kept telling her, well,
absolutely.
you were a child. She's like, you abandoned me. Yeah, but you were a child. And he
Mhm.
knows that his brother is not for that.
No.
Of
And
course.
plus, I think he loves her too.
Oh, he
Yes.
But
does.
you know,
He does love
in a
her.
good
He
old fashioned
does.
Targaryen way.
Yes.
He does.
Definitely loves her. And they're going
You
to
can
take
tell
over.
from the
soon.
way.
from episode 1 when he gave her the necklace. Yeah.
That's what
Right.
Sister
Yeah.
K said.
Sister
Yep.
K
Yeah.
said
Sister
it.
K
Yep.
said it then.
Yep.
I was in
Season
denial.
1,
You were
episode
right.
1. And I'm
See,
like,
I-
nah.
I'm a
like,
culturally
oh.
open guy, man. If that's
His
their way of
look
life.
is a little bit too like lovey-dovey for this child.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But she loves him
But
too.
but
I
that's
mean,
the
Oh,
Targaryen
God.
Oh, it's
way,
mutual.
though. That's
Mhm.
the Targaryen way. But you know what? It's just like I said, in ancient cultures, whether it was Egypt, China, Persia, that's what they did. They married within their family.
Keep it in the family. Yeah.
And what I love about what you
Exactly.
just said is you learn to love where you are. It's not a love
Yeah.
is something that's just
Yeah.
out there and you figure it out. You
Yeah.
learn to love where you are.
Mhm.
And so if we're gonna live in this world, I dig the power couple, right? And
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna survive, to be honest, but I dig,
oh, they're not.
Right.
fact-
Probably not.
No.
you know, and
You know, probably not. However, they are going to be too formidable
too
for
formidable.
anyone to think that they are going, you know, the only way that they're going to be defeated is through some backhanded treachery, I think, which
Yeah.
Clubfoot is
Yeah,
capable
exactly.
of doing.
Setting it up. It's already
Yeah,
being set
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I don't think nobody could beat them. Both of them are very strategic thinkers.
Yeah. We've already
Rhaenyra
seen that
And,
last
and-
episode.
right, and Damon. So I think
know.
it's going to take some backhanded, some really, really
Mm.
nasty something.
I don't think Rhaenyra is that strategic.
I think
No.
so.
If she was more strategic, this situation wouldn't even be there.
Because
She'd been in her
She
own
can't help the
house.
fact that she cannot help the fact that her husband was shooting blanks. That ain't
That's
her
not what
fault.
I'm saying. Well, but what is her fault is
'Cause
if
like
you're gonna
she
be knocking
said-
boots with your little dude, go to
Yeah.
your own house and do it. Don't do it
Yeah.
when you know everybody watching and you don't know
No,
after
no.
3 children.
She
No.
was doing that was all on purpose. That was one huge F you to Allison and to the king.
That's
That's true.
You're-
It was all on
Right.
purpose.
it's so true.
You're right.
That's why this show
Right.
is so small, man. I mean, this
Like,
show is
I'm
so
gonna
high
step
school.
out on my husband in
Yes.
your house.
Oh
Mhm.
my God. I still
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
house.
Okay.
Your
That's
house.
true. That's true.
I just, one of my favorite scenes is still, Allison saying, go get me that eye. And the guy starts to do it. And Damon
Yeah.
says, oh, hell no.
Mhm.
That's just, it's so profound.
I know.
So-
Yeah.
Don't you
Or
love
what-
it? And then that scene after when Allison when Rhaenyra realizes that her arm is cut because she didn't realize it, and
Yeah.
the blood's
Mhm.
dripping, and that whole scene above, and here's Damon and Rhaenyra and the boys and C-Snap
On one side.
and Rhaenyra
Yeah.
on one side,
Yep.
and then here's Allison and all them on the other side. That is a beautiful scene, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And David was looking at them
Let
like
the war begin.
I
wish you would.
Yeah, I wish you would. Shit.
No.
And,
I
I
know.
was watching the TV and I thought, yeah, that's right. Don't start none, won't be none.
No, and they've done a really good
Shoot.
job of getting to that moment. I mean, I give them
Yeah.
that credit. So
yeah.
I shouldn't probably be watching it with Game of Thrones eyes. At the same time, I do.
We all do, though.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
It's
all
hard not to
do.
compare. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
let me ask you another question: are the kids better at the Game of Thrones than the parents?
Mm.
Not
And
yet.
that's just to cause
It's too
trouble.
soon
Think
to
not
tell
That's
yet.
for
just
me.
causing trouble.
The one kid is.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
one kid is.
Aemon.
The rest aren't.
Yep.
Mm.
Right.
Aemon.
Yeah, Aemon.
is.
Amon.
Right.
Mhm.
Is he going to kill
said
a
it.
bunch of
He's
his
the one that said it.
cousins?
Well,
No.
first of all, they're not living together now. So I feel like after this wedding, they're not going to be associating with each other anymore.
No.
They're not going to be
Right.
like
Right.
visiting
Coming
over
together.
Christmas and
Mhm.
shit like
But
that. They're
see-
not going to do all that.
I'm telling you. Okay, I'm predicting it now.
There you go. It's on
I'm
record.
telling you.
Okay.
Here we go.
That little Jason Luke, and they know that Strong was their dad.
Was that yeah.
Yes.
No, They not. No, they are not gonna be no punks. Mm-mm.
Oh no, they're not
No.
punks.
No, I don't think
So
they'll be.
you're-
They gonna have no. But what I mean is, Damon's gonna teach them up like they should have been properly taught with sword work and
Mm.
shit.
Mhm.
And plus, they got
Right.
dragons too. So yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Well, that
Yeah, they're
dragon
gonna be
exchange
formidable, I
totally
think.
mattered. It's exactly what
Yes.
Otto understood.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
that was just such a great line to end the episode on. It was just because that's the game. Who gets the
Yep.
big bomb?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So anything
Yeah.
else about where the season's been that you all want to talk about?
Well, we are
I
getting
just
another
want them
time
to hurry
jump,
up and
right?
kill up Allison.
Oh, God.
well, Jay,
you'll
that's
be
not
you'll be
happening.
waiting seasons for that.
For that.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so
Ooh,
like
a
we've talked
jealous,
about.
petty thing. And here you are going behind your best friend's
Mhm.
back,
She,
courting her daddy, and
no,
then
no.
you
See,
wonder
I'm,
how come she don't want to talk to your ass.
So
Oh,
you're not
please.
going to give her any leverage at all. You're going to say
No.
Well, I will.
all
I
of this
will.
is completely
No,
her
I will-
choice. She wasn't caught up in a culture. She wasn't called. I mean, the fact that she loses her mind against Rhaenyra and says, "What is this crap? You won't do anything tradition. You won't do anything duty. You just flaunt your privilege all over the place." I think she's being real, and I'm not sure that's petty.
No.
Well,
She's
Okay,
just
I'm
like a whole
saying.
bunch of people nowadays. She's delusional. She's
Well,
delusional.
she
The
does
best
speak some
line in the
truth.
whole
She's-
episode
no,
was
Jay.
when
She does
Rhaenyra
speak
said,
truth.
"Your righteousness, you've been hiding behind this whole time. You just as evil as everybody else, and now everybody see you." That
Well,
was
but
the best
Allison
line.
is
Allison-
talking. She does speak
Yes.
some truth.
She does speak
I'll give her
truth.
that. She does
Because Rhaenyra has been flaunting that shit
Yes.
in her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
With
She has
Targaryen
been
privilege.
going against right,
Yeah.
but
That's true.
Allison is.
Mhm.
But I don't know if it's petty. She is jealous. She is
Yeah.
upset by the fact that her path has not had the same path as
Mhm.
Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra can choose. I don't want to get married. I don't want to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
babies. I don't want to do
Right.
this.
I'm not
Allison
sleeping with
have
that
a
old man.
choice
Well,
in
that's the
that.
thing. Look who I've been having
Thank you,
sex
Sister
with
A.
in the name of duty, and you go
Right.
off and do what you
Yes.
want with these
Yeah.
dominant
Go
Goes back
boys.
to that
with-
scene. Remember when
Yeah.
they showed her having sex with the king
Right.
versus
Yes.
Rhaenyra having
Yes,
sex with
exactly.
like that made it very apparent
Mhm.
of
Right.
Allison's
Okay, so that's the
jealousy.
story. To be honest,
Yeah.
that's
Now,
the
and I
House of
will-
the Dragon.
And
Yeah.
I will
That's the,
say this.
that's the
Yep.
jealousy factor. I'm telling
But
you.
wait, I will say this too, though, in Allison's defense, because I would be the same. Even though, obviously she has rose-colored glasses when it comes to her children, which a lot of people do. They don't
Yeah,
think their
they
kids
do.
ever
Everybody
do nothing wrong, and they're the best little children
Yeah.
ever.
Mhm.
And everybody else is like, these little suckers is terrible.
They
Bad.
baby kids.
Don't know,
Yeah, they're
messed
like
up.
baby kids.
right? They babies.
Right.
But
Yeah.
But I will say for Allison's defense, you send the cousins off to go play, and one of them ends up without an eye. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
like, why did you even have an effing knife? Now, I didn't know that my child was about to bash another child in the head. I'm thinking
Right.
about why was my child hurt in this?
Yes.
And you're only
kerfuffle.
seeing the outcome of
And
yeah,
I'm
these kids
seeing
have
the-
scratches, but my kid lost a whole
Mhm.
eye.
And an
Yeah, but
apology
that
is
one
all
boy
you
got a
want.
broken
And-
nose.
Right.
The
Yes.
little
One-
baby got a broken nose.
But listen,
The little
Jay,
boy.
the point is you don't know really what happened. You're just trying to
Yeah.
figure out why did these other little runions bring a knife
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
on the little play date. And then you got the main
Play
big
date.
daddy.
That was no play
they
date.
were supposed to all be in bed.
date.
Playing in the
No,
sandbox
listen,
with the
No play
dragon.
date.
Well, but listen, then you got the big daddy talk about, everybody just
yeah.
apologize.
Y'all just get
no.
along.
Exactly.
That fool needs to be kicked out of school. He needs to go off to remedials. He needs to do whatever. So I get her doggone point.
And what I
In
really,
that
really dig about the way
situation.
they're writing her character is that the words that come out of our mouths as explanation are really not the point, right?
No.
The fact is, her father pushed her into a service when she was 15
Mm.
that she did not enjoy,
Mhm.
and she's had her whole identity is wrapped around. Now we could say, well, she should have said no. I'm going to give her the benefit of the
couldn't
doubt and blame it on
She
culture.
couldn't say
right?
no.
Yeah.
No, she
And
couldn't have.
and so everything she says now in her life is derived from the fact that she was forced to be bedded with this old man
Mhm.
Yep.
who was basically rotting in her arms.
Yes.
And the rest of the words, they're just words. It's all from this fact that she hates
Mhm.
where she is in life.
Yep.
Yes.
And jealousy
And
is
she
the part of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
because
she's jealous that
yeah,
Rhaenyra didn't have to do that. And she
Right.
no.
rebelled against it, and she can rebel against it because she has
Oh,
that
man.
privilege.
Rhaenyra
to do
has a
it.
choice.
We have
Yeah,
gotten to
she
the
does
core
not.
because it's her very husband that let Rhaenyra get away with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the guy that's doing what he's doing to her is the same guy that said
But
his
Yep.
daughter do whatever she
You're
wants.
forgetting about,
Yep.
but you're forgetting also about the aspect that her father, not only did he pimp her out, but he has put this in her head, and she has continually put in her son's heads about they're gonna kill your sons unless you kill them first, and your son need to be king, and I don't care whether the kings have named her on the throne and stuff. Your son is the one that's supposed to be on all of that.
He's been playing that game.
Put in her mind by her father,
Mhm.
groomed her from the time she was a child, a young teenager,
Adolescent.
and
Mhm.
then she has in turn groomed her boys, plural, with the same information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say the boys, that's because Helena, I'm sure she heard the same conversation, but she don't give any indication that she talked to her about that because she's a girl.
She's on a different path.
Yeah. She's busy with the bugs, man. She's got the future to deal with.
But Allison wouldn't talk to her the same way because she's a girl, and a girl's not, in Allison's mind, it's not going to inherit the throne anyway. So why, why?
So what I really dig about what you just said is that whole scene with Aegon in the window.
Yes, I know. Mm-hmm.
And then she comes in and just talks to him.
Talks.
Feels like she's laying down truth. It's clear that could be nothing more than the truth that her daddy passed on to her. It could be the case that Rhaenyra would never.
What Otto said.
Yeah.
And
but
what
I'm saying is,
wait, let him finish, Jay.
No. What I'm saying is, the issue is, would Rhaenyra ever go after her kids? And that is something she doesn't know.
Well, she would not have. She wouldn't. I don't think she would have until now.
Until the show.
I think
exactly.
Everything's
now
building.
All bets are off.
All bets are off.
Yep.
Rhaenyra will go head to head.
Rhaenyra would have ever done that.
Yeah.
But because of her own guilt, Allison, and plus what her father has been telling her all these years, and her guilt with everything, and their fight and everything, her getting with the daddy without telling her, all that stuff, she has now built this stuff up in her mind to be true. And because their friendship is fractured, there's nothing there foundationally
she's
to
alone.
kind of override that.
She's alone. You're absolutely
but
right.
Allison is like so many other people.
Allison has now created a situation where Rhaenyra will do that because
and Aegon didn't make it any worse either, because by him openly saying, everybody knows, that was him calling out Rhaenyra too.
Yeah.
So I think that Rhaenyra is going to go head to head.
And Viserys didn't do jack.
No.
He did. That was his moment. That was the moment.
But it's just like things in real life, in today's life, and that is, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
She and Otto have projected this shit so many years. Yeah, you're right, Sister A. She made that happen because she has projected this shit over and over and put that out into the world, telling her son all the time, oh, you are going to be king and stuff, and otherwise them other bastards are going to be king. And what did Aegon said? Oh yeah, they're great. Hey, my cousins are going, hey, good for them. She said, no, that's not what you
I don't want to do.
You should be you should be. Yeah, he don't care. He wants to be drunk and chase women.
But her behavior and Sir Kristen's, like, both of their behavior and how they treat treat all of the other family is exactly why those kids have that sense of superiority when it comes to the cousins. And she now has created these situations with how she's treated Rhaenyra and those kids.
All right.
And
she's
her
created
sons.
this situation where this is inevitably going to happen.
So let me ask you this. Let's say I agree with everything you say. And I think it becomes down to, you could say that Alicent is jealous. At the same time, what that translates to is that she doesn't trust that her kids will be safe if Rhaenyra is made the queen.
Because her daddy had put that in her head.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you all believe that Rhaenyra would have never gone against Alicent's kids at any point, or the realm wouldn't have gone against Alicent's kids at any point if Rhaenyra had become queen?
No, I do not believe for a moment that Rhaenyra, that thought would have even entered her head. I don't believe that at all. Not at all. Not the person that she is. But Alicent has set up all of this. And so now, through Alicent's actions and machinations, she has set up her sons to be against their cousins.
Well, at the same time, so has all of Westeros, right? I mean, all of these people
not
are
yet,
saying...
not all of Westeros yet.
Well, the people that we've seen, you know, the guy that Alicent talked to at the wedding, right? These people that are wearing the green. I mean, people are wearing...
That's her uncle,
That's
green
her
or red.
That's her family.
Old Town. They're from Old Town.
Those are her family, those people in green. That's her family line from her. Yeah.
No, the Strongs are different.
Oh,
that guy was Old Town.
Yeah.
The High Towers.
The High Towers.
Yeah, the High Towers.
What I'm saying is they're pushing all of this mythos through her character. At the same time, they're implying that there's a whole Westerosi backstory of people that don't want Rhaenyra to be the queen.
We saw this in episode 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it was
So it's not like she's paranoid and it's unreal. Her kids are at risk when Viserys dies.
Well,
unless she's got to trust that
they wouldn't have
weren't. I don't believe they weren't.
They weren't.
No, they weren't.
Because
not until then.
But now they are. But even Rhaenys told Rhaenyra, the realm is not going to accept you as the queen.
Exactly.
And so it's gonna be contested.
Yeah.
You're not going to be accepted. She's like, well, it will be when I get of age and become queen. And so she tried to tell her, and it got repeated in episode 4 or 5, whenever they decided to marry Laenor and Rhaenyra.
Right.
And Rhaenyra was saying then, now our son is in the line of fire because when she tries to ascend to the throne and the realm rebels, there's going to be a contest, which means we're going to be fighting, and our son and their children are going to be in that line of fire too.
Yeah.
But she knows it. Otto was not wrong when he told that to Alicent. No. He didn't brainwash her. He wasn't wrong. But what I think he was wrong with is that Rhaenyra would have done that. I don't think Rhaenyra would have done that. She will now, though.
I absolutely love this conversation because it emerges out of the quality of Martin's writing, right? There's no clear answer. And I love the idea that, okay, Rhaenyra wouldn't kill Alicent's kids, but the realm might kill Alicent, or might kill Rhaenyra. I mean, in other words, there's a whole world behind all of this that has nothing to do with those two characters.
Yeah.
And so you find, Alicent's just not as badass as Rhaenyra. It's just, she's not Targaryen.
She's not. And
she's not strategic,
Alicent
and
is
she's
reacting based upon what other people tell her.
Agreed.
Yes.
See,
Agreed.
she is reactionary.
Yes.
She is not
she was
precautionary or anything. Yeah, she's reacting off of stuff that her daddy and the clubfoot and all this other shit
she's
is
not
telling her.
God, this leads to another great question.
Rhaenyra is different. Rhaenyra is looking forward. Period.
Well, she
Yes.
makes up her own mind about things.
She does.
She doesn't just always agree.
She's not easily
And she's
swayed
not-
either.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's been allowed to be that way, though.
She's strong.
She was
Yes.
raised that way
Yep.
because she was the queen's
Again, that's
daughter.
another. That's
And
another.
Allison wasn't.
Right.
She didn't have a
Mhm.
choice. So it is different. And
Well,
you can see
yeah.
Allison's side somewhat, but she's taken it
I
to a
know.
whole nother level.
She
Now she's gone beyond your comprehension
She's
because
way
she has now
beyond.
made
So now
it
we're-
about
Yes.
my
Mhm.
kids, your kids.
She's
Yeah,
way
exactly.
beyond. And I mean, this
Wait.
whole thing with Clubfoot is just in my craw. Okay. So you claim that you didn't know that he was going to go
Oh,
kill his
That's
daddy
just
and
bad
brother.
mafioso.
Oh,
But
he
now
didn't.
That's just
that
bull
you
crap.
know, you are still
That's the
around this
mafioso
fool. No,
about
I
his
would have
job.
ratted his ass
I had
out.
no idea.
Oh,
what-
no,
I-
she
I didn't
can't.
tell him
Yeah,
what he killed him.
yeah,
What the
yeah.
hell? What are you talking about?
No, I would have went to the
No.
king and said, look, King, I
Yeah.
had a conversation. And
Yes.
blah, blah. Next thing I know, hey, I
Yes.
didn't do it.
I
hell
didn't do
yeah,
a
I would have
damn
had
thing.
a
I had
long
no idea
conversation
what
with the
you're
king.
talking
Well,
about.
no,
Not gonna
because then
tell
she would have
Sarah's
to. She's not, because then she would have to admit that she's been sitting breaking bread with him every night for dinner while he's
Yeah,
riding
that's
away,
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh,
You're right.
no.
That's
Oh,
true.
getting all the
Mm.
He
gossip.
probably already knows. He already know because everybody know. The problem is she'd have to say, "Oh, I've been talking about all this shit you told me not to talk about to this dude."
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. No.
And
The guy's
also,
been
she
giving
knows-
him all the gossip.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
And
That's true.
She also
Yes.
has said it out loud. She doesn't think he listens to her. Like she
Mhm.
said, when is anyone going to take my side? He's always going to have his daughter's side in
Ah,
mind, not hers. And she knows that. So she
That
can't
was
go
a
to him and tell him
Bad marriage
I
from
really-
the beginning.
The
Not-
beginning.
I know.
from the
I
beginning.
know.
I don't
If your
think-
lover can't take your side, you lose from day one to day end. That's just all there is to it.
But
If
see,
you're- yeah,
but see, that shows you how bad, how truly evil Otto is. He don't care about her. He just wanted her to get in
Yeah.
there with the king.
Okay.
The day that the
Yeah.
king's wife died.
Have the kids.
Yeah, have them babies. Hurry
Yes.
up and have them
Yeah.
babies.
I think
And
he does
yeah.
love her. I
Please,
think
I
he
don't
does
think
care
so
about
for a
her, but
minute.
it's
I don't
different.
think
It's
so.
a different kind of
different
love because
Yeah.
he just like someone loves their tools, right?
I was just gonna say that he cares about her because he can use her.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just like a
And
screwdriver
at the
or a
same
saw or
time,
something.
That's kind
Yes.
of the Game
A
of Thrones.
pawn.
I mean, that's
Yep, upon.
you know, and so I think there's a wonderful contrast between Otto and
Dang,
Damon.
that's awful.
right? That's why I think that moment when Damon stepped in and Kristen Colin said, "No, back up, bud."
Mhm.
Right? It's like this is not where you get to be,
Yeah.
because this is family and you ain't. That's just a move that Viserys would have never made,
Yeah.
right? That's a move that
I like
Otto
that.
would have never made, right? This is
Yeah.
family, stay out.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just like that they did that for Damon. I just
like
really
that,
appreciate
yeah.
that. And it so I'm gonna if we're gonna use a scale of evenness, I'm with you on Otto, right? But dude said it. He admitted it. It's an ugly game we play. And I'm glad you're ready to play. He just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
did.
said it straight
did.
out. And
Like I've been
Yeah.
playing this game from day one. It's about time you
Yes.
joined
Oh,
me.
Lord.
Welcome to the Game of
Uh-huh.
Thrones.
Yeah.
and she should have said,
Welcome
Daddy,
to
what
the
lessons?
game.
What did you have to do, Daddy? Okay, look at what I had to
Right.
do. To get us
Thank
here.
you. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about one thing too, and that is when Allison was doing her little screed, and she said that Cole was hers. Did you see that look that the
Mm.
other Kingsguard gave to Cole?
Harold.
What do you think
Yes.
is going to happen?
Yes. And the Kingsguard said something like, oh, it was a question she was asking as when the Kingsguard left. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, see, I don't
He said,
remember either.
Sir Cole, you have the watch, you have the watch,
You have
or
the
you have the
watch, yeah.
evening or
Oh,
something like
because
that.
he was taking Viserys to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, so Cole, you're now in charge of
Right.
all the other ones that we're supposed to be watching.
but Cole wasn't nowhere to be found. Now, what was he doing?
Nowhere.
What was he
Hanging
doing?
by Allison's side.
Yeah,
He doesn't care about the rest of them.
It wasn't no side.
Mm.
So I'm going to ask you guys this. Because-
Whoa.
I told y'all.
They have gotten a lot of plot mileage out of Cole.
Yeah, they have.
And I'm
Yeah.
asking, do we really need plot mileage being made out of
Well,
such?
A person
uh,
posted in our Facebook group that the reason why he's still there, and that's because in the books anyway, Cole was Allison's lover, just like Sir Heron was. Heron Strong was Rhaenyra's lover. That's why he's
Harwin.
still there.
Harwin.
Yeah, Harwin.
So
that's why he's still there.
Allison's
but they
problem.
have not made that clear in this series.
Because Allison's saying, hey, you had sex with your brown-haired fantasy. I haven't had sex with my brown-haired fantasy. What the hell's going on here, right?
Well,
I mean,
evidently in the books, that's what his function was. That's why he didn't kill himself.
One thing so I love the show, and I love the
I
relationships.
do too.
And I get a little worn out on pettiness. I'm gonna be straight up. I just get a little worn out on pettiness. I need some White Walkers. I need some big danger. I need some stuff because, I can walk down the street and find pettiness. That's not an issue. So, I dig it. And I really hope that they just give us some magic on the dragons, something, something to make it bigger. Because what I'm scared of, I'm scared that the Varillian house is going to go. I'm scared that that's how the season's going to go.
You think?
I'm just
I don't
saying,
know.
because we don't hear of any Varillians in Game of Thrones. We hear about the culture back then, but we don't hear about a house Varillia, right?
Mm-mm.
Well,
And,
now that's a good point.
Valerian
That's a good
Steel.
point.
I
Hi,
feel like they didn't have
Valerian.
time. There's a lot of families when you read the books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's so many characters and families in those.
right.
They don't touch on half of those in the Game of Thrones.
Well,
They
they
don't
don't
have time.
They don't.
So
Yeah.
I feel
Right.
like they're there. They just
Yeah.
didn't touch on them in the show.
Right.
So I don't
Fair
know
enough.
that we
Well,
can say that they
yeah.
might die out or that they won't be a part of the show anymore. I think they have to be because now those families are intertwined.
Yes.
Those
Now that
kids
they've
are
made
gonna
those
grow
choices,
up,
right.
Yeah.
and there
Yeah.
might be a whole nother storyline with that family
That's
that we just
true.
haven't seen. I haven't read those books
Yeah.
yet.
So
well, the
I
next
heard
episode
go ahead.
is about the Prince of Tide. So isn't that the Valerians? Aren't they the water?
So look, there may be a whole story here for Lenore
several-
because I'll tell you
there
what,
are
in the
ways.
books, okay, so I'm not a book reader, but one of my colleagues told me that in the books,
Uh-huh.
Lenore dies. So the fact that they had him escape
Mm.
on the ship, on the little rowboat, whatever,
Yeah.
Right.
changes the story,
Mhm.
keeps him alive,
Yeah.
changes what could happen in episode 10, in ways that we're not predicting right now. So
Right.
That's what
um,
Sister LM said in our last podcast, that what if he came back
of course,
Right.
of
at
course
some
we're
point
gonna
in
do that.
time? How would
Mhm.
that change so many
Mhm.
things?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
No,
And you
so-
also wondered also about the fact that it could be that sea smoke is a clue to
love
Rhaenys
it.
that he's not actually
Wouldn't
dead.
that
But
just
they,
be
she keeps that
amazing?
secret.
I hope
Yes.
so. I hope
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she's lost 2 of her children. She's
Oh,
going
Lord.
through so
Yeah.
much.
Just
Like
back
give
to
her
back.
that
And they only had
glimmer.
the two, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
that's
And how
it.
about
So
that
that's all
argument
their
they had in
children.
front of that fireplace? Was that
Yeah.
not one of the
I know.
best
That was
Yeah.
so good.
marriage
Yes.
arguments you've seen
Yep.
on the show, where she's saying, "Baby, this is all about you and your name.
Yeah.
This is not about your
Yeah.
kids." It's like,
Mhm.
damn, that only happens in a
Yep.
good marriage, right? That
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
in a
True.
space where you can have that fight.
Mhm.
And I
I
think
really like those two.
I do
I
do
too.
too.
I do too. I like them together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
I like
what's
her a
interesting
lot
because they're
as
the
well.
only couple in the show
Mhm.
speaking adult truth.
Yeah.
They're the
Yeah.
only adults pair
Yeah,
you see
that's
where they're
true.
having adult conversations.
Mhm.
I mean, Allison and Viserys don't have conversations,
Respectful.
No.
but no, where they understand the stakes and they actually go back and forth on them. And I absolutely loved the things that she said to Corlys. I did not like. I think Corlys had it coming or anything, but you can understand. I completely can understand why Corlys has been fighting for his family's name the whole damn series.
Yeah.
That's the whole conversation we had. He had with
Right.
Viserys about how's his name going to pass
Yeah.
on, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I completely understand that. Because my daughter can give up her last name when she got married. So House Jordan's going to continue for a while, right? It's House Jordan Lens over in that part of the world. But I'm just saying.
we had a whole argument about that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What was the argument? I'm not asking you to recreate it, but
That
Whether
came up
it
in
is-
another show.
It was another
Married at
show.
First
but
Sight.
taking-
It was one of
taking
our
the last
reality
name-
podcasts. Yeah.
oh,
Taking
okay.
taking the last name of the husband, like what if it was
Lord
a
have
janky-
mercy.
What if it was a
Yeah.
janky last name? Like what would you take?
Yes.
What if it
Oh,
rhymes
they
with
got
your first
yeah.
name?
Oh no, they got real
Oh, yeah.
ignorant with it.
Oh, a rhyme would be okay. That would be kind of cool. That's fine.
Doris
But-
Horace wouldn't work well. I'm
Oh,
just-
that's not bad.
Oh no,
That's
they
not
had,
bad.
They
No,
had
we
some
went way
real
left.
shit going on.
Yeah.
Don't
no, I
repeat
gotta
it.
say,
Don't repeat it.
No, we
but-
won't repeat it.
No.
No,
but
we will not
No.
repeat that. But anyway, yeah.
I love
All
where
right.
our culture is on this. I mean, my daughter had a conscious conversation with her husband about what her last name was going to be, and she
And that's
basically
as it
said,
should be.
Now,
too.
may I
Yeah.
ask, what was her reason to carry on the family name? Was that her?
"It has nothing to do. My daughters are adopted." So
Right.
her
So
answer
what-
was, "This is who I am."
Okay.
Right. So it was very
That's
proud,
fine.
very proud
Yeah.
parent moment. And
Yeah.
so, if I could show you all my ink.
Oh yeah.
What?
Is that the adoption?
That is the international symbol for adoption.
It
So
is.
Awesome.
That's
Um,
awesome.
She came to me when she
Yes.
was about 18, 19 and said, let's go get matching tattoos. And so that's the
Aw.
tat I have. And
Proud dad.
Yes.
oh, Lord have mercy, I rule the world. But my girl and her are getting matching tattoos. Are you kidding me? I rule the world.
That's
At 60
awesome.
years
That's
old, I'm
awesome.
still in charge, right? But I mean,
That is so cool.
Yes.
That's very nice.
it was so we've always had conversations about politics, race, life, and everything. And so they've been very aware of who they are as biracial women in the United States. And it's not like I tried to persuade them to have a view. I actually took her out of this country for 6 months to Germany because I got an invitation to do something.
Wow.
Because I wanted my kids to not be scared of the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because this culture can make you scared of the world.
Oh, it can make you, it
Mhm.
can beat you down.
And the thing is, scariness is everywhere. But at
Right.
the same time, being biracial in the United States, I wanted them to know that there are other places, and if this ain't working for you, get
Yeah.
on a plane,
Yep.
right?
Places you can
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah, but
this
you
ain't
know
the only
what? All
place.
over the world, it don't matter. It don't matter how racial you get. You're black, you're black, you're black.
So you're absolutely right. The one drop rule applies everywhere.
Mhm.
One
are
drop
absolutely-
rule. And
it
I mean,
applies
that
everywhere.
shit happened back in 1700 some, but it's
Yeah.
still there today.
Oh,
Because let's see, I did my ancestry one time, and it was like maybe 5 different races and a whole bunch of them in Ireland and stuff. No wonder I love Celtic shit. But anyway, but you know what?
Your genes
You're
parked
black, you're
over in
black, you're
Ireland
black.
Yeah.
for a while. Exactly. They did, absolutely. So did
And
mine, by the
Italian
way.
shit,
So
but
we're gonna
anyway.
go show up in Dublin
So-
someday and have beers.
Yeah, those.
Exactly.
I love it.
We'll do a podcast live from a Dublin
You know
pub.
what? I'd have to knock
Ooh,
myself out
that'd be
to fly
awesome.
over the water, though. But
We'll get you there.
Sister
We'll
A
get a
would go
boat.
with
Yeah.
me.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
You get
Sister A would
yourself to
go with me
Boston, we'll
and-
take a boat.
and- okay,
Yes, let's do it.
be good. That'd be good. And she could help me out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you guys a story, and it's in a podcast. I'll decide whether I take it out later. But my youngest daughter asked me a few years ago. She said, "Dad, I want to do a DNA test." And I said, "Well,
Mhm.
cool, baby. Here's the thing. I'll pay for it as long as we all do them, and we open them on Christmas morning." So
Cool.
we
Oh,
Oh,
ordered
that's
them.
nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So we stowed them away till Christmas morning, and
Wow.
so my girls go first. And the way they do 23andMe is that Europe is shades of blue, Africa is shades of yellow,
Mhm.
brown. So you get this little ring, and the yellow and blue depends upon the percentage that your genes are of blah, blah,
Right.
blah. So
Mm,
both of my girls are 52, 48, yellow and blue, right? And so
Yeah.
they're definitely, So we then do my wife's. Well, my wife is like 50% Polish, 50% American mutt, white American mutt, right? So when we looked at her jeans, it's all blue and it's like straight from Eastern Europe to Chicago, you know, to where we're living now.
Yeah.
And then they do mine.
Uh-oh.
What you got?
And
The story
guys,
before.
this is such a good story because I've been telling my kids
It
my
is.
whole life we're all from Africa, right? I wanted them to have a historical understanding of themselves. So they do mine, and it's predominantly blue. And there's this little teeny sliver of yellow, like 0.7% from Somali. And I start jumping around the room saying, I told you I'm from Africa. And my girls, I swear to God, I got it in tech. They said, no, Daddy, you're from Mississippi.
Oh.
Is that not the United States of America?
Zing.
Oh my God.
Not it. So when I tell you
Oh my
I'm proud of how I
gosh.
raised my daughters, they
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
They got that, and
Yeah.
they said it in that moment. There was no thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I know I bear the mark of
Exactly.
Cain. It's precisely where my genes come from. And you know, and so that understanding that they live with lets them be robust.
Yeah.
I didn't plan
Yeah.
on going on a genetic story about families here, you know.
No, but
No, but it's
that's
awesome.
great though.
Yes,
That's great.
Yes.
And you know, the thing about it is that we're all related in some
Yes.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, what I
Everybody.
love about you
And I say, for me personally, my personal opinion is the more interracial marriages there
Yep.
are, the better.
I can't,
Everybody be
I
mixed
completely
up
agree.
with everything.
right.
And we're all mixed up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so when
All
you do
of
that
us.
23andMe, all it does is tell you how long ago your genes parked somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I did,
Right.
and no, I did ancestry.com,
All
and this was like years ago. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty thorough.
Right.
I was really surprised, but you know what? But once I thought about it, I wasn't really, because as the sisters know, I love all things Celtic and Viking. But there's a reason for that.
You
Yeah.
got some of that blood.
Got
Yep.
it in you.
Yeah, way up there. I
Little
said,
bit of ginger in you.
Little
Yes.
ginger in there.
I love
No, she's got that straight up Targaryen hair going, right? Now let's
Yeah.
make it clear. That.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's only because I'm old. But when I was younger, I mean, I had the orangey red hair because I'm
Yeah.
a twin. So
There you
you
go.
Yeah.
No, I think when I love what you said about, you know, we're all related, because then the work that people do is trying to
Mhm.
make the case that we're not. That's
Yeah.
where the
We
most
all
energy
are.
gets spent, is trying to
Mhm.
tell a story about how we're different. And you can tell how important it is to someone to have to believe that by how
Mhm.
loudly they profess it.
Well,
right?
Mhm.
the
Right.
best example I have is Sister A. I mean, when we met her, it was just like we knew her like our
Yeah.
whole
Mm.
lives. And
Yes.
Yeah.
we had just met her in what, Chicago was the first
All
time,
of
right?
us we had never
Chicago,
met
yeah.
All
before.
of us, but I mean, it was like
Yeah.
Right.
she and
I feel like
I mean,
that's the same with
and
our whole
she
with our
and,
whole group.
With the nation.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Wow.
just
Yeah.
she and Procrastinella are my Amazon queens. You know?
Well, you know, whenever I've gotten home from one of these family reunions, I've always written in, what a great service you guys are doing for the world. And I'm not pulling anybody's leg,
Yeah.
right? Creating
I
a
know,
space
I
where,
know.
where,
We love
where
it.
people
We
can
love
come
it.
together and hang out and be who
But
they
what
are.
a great group
Completely
our
amazing.
be who
nation,
we
our
are,
family
yes.
is. It's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're just
I appreciate
right-
the plot of land and the no tax policy. Business is good despite inflation. You know, we're okay.
I feel
Fight
like that's
inflation.
the best part about this world we're in today with the technology, that we were able to even have a podcast, because you didn't
Totally.
see the best
Yeah.
part about how we started before video and all that was you just were talking. You didn't see who they were.
Mhm.
You didn't know what they looked like.
Yep.
We've told people who we were, though.
Right.
But we
Yeah.
didn't have to. When we
We
have this,
always told people who we were.
but we have this connection that didn't matter about where we were
Right.
from,
Yeah.
what
what
race
we physically
we were,
look like. Yeah.
our ethnicity,
Mhm.
any
We
of
don't
that.
care.
And we
Right.
were able to have people from all over the world
Yes.
come and spend time with us
Yeah.
and give parts of their lives too.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
we met in person, it was just
Yes.
like, we're already
Yeah.
family. We already
It
know.
was.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, not
That's
to
the
be
part
too
that
much
I
as of a psychologist, at the same time,
Go ahead, do it.
I know.
what your
Do your
example
thing.
teaches us is that it's the ideas that matter, not the body. All right. In other
Yeah.
words, the idea connections that you create with people are ultimately what determine how you're going to be together. And that's why hate groups spend so much time on ideas. They spend so much time putting out bad ideas, is
Mhm.
because they don't want you
Yeah.
to ever entertain the idea of getting along with someone else that's not part of their
Right.
group. So you are absolutely right. You know, Sistah Speak Nation is an opportunity created by the internet, but created by beautiful people who want to talk on the internet. And
Yep.
I honestly believe that this is how I'm actually, to be honest, very optimistic about the future.
I am too, though.
Right now, but I think, and I have to admit, I'm a fan of Gen Z. I might get my daughter in
Okay,
trouble,
which
man.
ones are they?
So
The
my daughter's
newest.
21. So I'm gonna get a little political, and I'll cut this out if I need to.
Which one? Wait a minute. Which is
The
Gen
current,
Z?
the current
Oh, the current one.
youngest.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
current 20, the
Okay.
current,
Like
the
21 to
current,
30,
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
21 to 30. Okay.
Yeah.
20 to
so
30, something like
a
that.
former president tells the world that he's going to hold a political rally on June 19th in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is nothing but a deliberate insult to Juneteenth and to Tulsa.
Oh, gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. A whole slew of Gen Zers got online and registered for the tickets and didn't go. All right.
Gotcha.
Nice.
That is so
Yep.
completely badass.
Mhm.
That is
They
so
just had
completely
her.
badass.
They just had her, the woman who spurred the Juneteenth celebration. They just had her on the news today.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Hmm.
because at 96 years of age, she is spearheading the Juneteenth Museum over in Fort Worth.
Oh, it's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
So yes, the
96, y'all.
96.
And she just walking.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wonderful. Wonderful.
So awesome. So we're going to bring this amazing conversation to a close, and we're going to play a little game at the end.
Ooh.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is say the word-
Monopoly?
Hey, baby,
We'll be
you
here
know
for
remember.
hours.
It might
that's
still be
shady.
too
That
soon.
was so,
You know what?
see how she slipped that shade in there?
So you know what? You know, I'm
I
really
felt that.
starting to
I
think
felt that.
that you and Shalita were like working together. I'm just saying, Game of Thrones going on.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh. That was some shade.
Oh,
Wasn't
slip some
it?
sweet shade.
Z.
It took me a minute to even
See,
catch
see,
that
look,
one.
Look, see how she did her faces. See
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Hey, that's all Liverpool fans have right now.
That's right. That's right. That's very
Let's throw
true.
shade somewhere else because we are
It's rough.
sucking so much wind right now. It's pathetic.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
The word is team. And when I say your name, I want you to say team followed by a character name from this series, indicating what team you're on.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go first and piss everybody off.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to say Team Allison.
I knew he was going to say that.
But to be
I'm
real,
about to click leave
to be
meeting.
real- so I did that just to be a jerk. I honestly did that just to be a jerk. The problem is when I speak my truth, everybody's going to say, well, you're just picking him because he looks like you, and then just shut up, right? But I'm going to
No, pick who you want.
say Team Damon straight up. Sister
Okay.
K. Sister K.
Oh, okay. I'll change it up. I was gonna say Damon also, but I'll be team Rhaenyra.
Okay, Sister A.
Ooh, I'm really gonna change it up, and I'm gonna say Team Clubfoot.
Ooh, snap. She's in for the game. Well, that explains the whole Monopoly debacle. Right?
There was no debacle involved.
Well, a good Game of Thrones player knows it's exactly what you say when your strategy.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Oh,
I gotta come to
We have to
Beantown
have
sometime.
You do.
we gotta have a rematch now.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. So, Sister LM, team.
Team Syrax.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. A whole story to be told there.
Yes.
Love it. All right, Sister J, team.
See, I'm going the way of Sister LM. I'm team Vagar.
Ooh.
Biggest one in the whole realm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the smart crowd does go with the biggest nuke in the crew, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an absolutely delightful conversation. I love you, women, and I love hanging out with you and talking all things pop culture.
We love you back, Zombie.
We
Oh,
love you
yeah.
back.
You made my Friday night, and you make this backdrop look so.
Oh
damn
yeah,
good. It's incredible.
wait. I can do it now.
Yeah.
Ser Zombie Scotty.
No, you
Ser
guys are gonna make
Zombie
me cry here.
Scotty. We heart
you.
you.
Scotty.
And I hurt you right back.
The
Thank you
Sister
so much.
Guard.
So, do I need to ask you where people can find you on social media? Should I just ask one of you? I mean, I
Sister
just
K.
don't want to
Sister
offend
K.
anyone. I don't want to make anyone bored. So, Sister K, where can we find you on social media?
We are everywhere out there, y'all. You can go
Be
to
everywhere.
Yes, we can go to the best place to see everything is go to sistahspeakproductions.com, and we'll have links to YouTube, our Patreon, our Facebook, our Twitter,
Instagram.
everything.
Instagram,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm taking
Everything is
notes.
on there.
I'm taking notes. I got to figure how to get dark loops into more of them streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, get it in them
Exactly.
streets. It's too good not to be out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
you're
Mhm.
so
Yes.
kind. So you can find all episodes of Dragons in the House on YouTube at the Dark Loops Productions channel. If you want to write in, tell us how you think we got it right. Tell us how you think we got it wrong. You can write in this YouTube page or send an email to darkloopsproductions@gmail.com, and we'll be sure to talk about it during our next conversation. So there it is, from all of us to all of you. Big hugs, and remember, all men must
All men
die.
must
All men must
die.
die.
And women.
Oh, snap. I could never say that in public. What are you talking about?
That's
Thank
why I
you so
did.
much. There you go.